Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first of the Rocket Kingdom one-shot tournaments. That's as I said, our first one. It's £100 prize pool, and we've got some exciting teams today. But I think first of all, we should see who we're working with. I am joined today by Killsync.
Hey guys, pleasure to be here. Good to be in the casting seat for obviously what you said is the first one-shot tournament. But I can imagine, considering how successful this looks like it's going to be, I can imagine it's just going to be the first of many.
So many more. We've also got Craftman doing the production, so thank you to Craftman indeed. But we've also got our first game coming up. We're starting over from round 2, and it'll be best of threes all the way up to the semi-finals and finals, which will be best of fives for both of them. But our first teams of the night are Fact, Revolution, and Cheeky getting carried, and we shouldn't waste our time much longer. I might as well just send them in now, get things going, and get straight underway.
Yeah, and obviously seeing Fact, Revolution, Banjo, Day, and Fist coming in against that Cheeky team, like you say, with Cheeky, me, and Toto coming in, then it's going to be pretty incredible, I reckon. A good early start from both of these teams is what's really needed to kick off this game.
I'm hoping to see a good old game here, and Mike Boy especially, I'm expecting big things from him. He's an excellent player, is probably the most known one from me, but that's already a bad touch in the defense, and how's that not getting saved? Grind?
Yeah.
Sorry. Grind, if I can speak properly.
Grind Buggis. I'm not sure Grind Buggis. I think we'll just call him Grind for this. But yeah, not a great 50 on his own sidewall. Really not where you want to be trying to 50 the ball either. Allowing the ball just to drop down into the middle for a completely attacking team there. And Grind just wasting no time to get that early first goal.
Slipped in there. There was an easy one to save, to be honest. I don't know what happened in the defense, and that shouldn't be happening in the defense as well, but even with that happening, Fact Revolution, they're 1-0 up, and they've got the lead for this game number 1, but Cheeky getting carried, they're already on the attack, and that's slipping in from the shot from Toto off the post, and then it went, and a quick return there as we're all equalised once again.
Yeah, and you've really got to question the defensive capabilities of both of these teams at the moment. You know how high level they are. They shouldn't be making the kind of plays they're making. Banjo opting to go for the carry into his own sidewall and just passing it perfectly down to the opposition team, and it's just not what you want to see this early on.
So another one. We couldn't even get finished with the last one, and people have just missed the ball once again. Baron takes it upfield, finds Day down below. Mike Boy's up high in the post and just completely misses it. I don't know why he went so high. The shot wasn't looking like it was going to go there, but he decided to roll in the middle of the net and get nowhere near touching that ball, and which gives Fact Revolution once again a lead, and it's 2-1 now.
Yeah, this is really quite a surprising start, I think, from both teams. I think if we'd called what would have happened early on, it would have been 0-0 for the first maybe 2.5 minutes while both teams get settled. But instead, neither team looking settled on defense, both teams looking relatively confident on the offense. And I think a few more plays like this, and you might be questioning what kind of goal fest this is going to be.
I'm already questioning that. The ball goes high, Toto can't get a touch on it, leaving for Cheeky, though. He's going to have to back off. He's not going to get there first. Grind takes the ball upfield, and not the best of touch from Cheeky, who's in the corner, but the defense pushing up too far. Mike Boy's touch are going to find the back of the net, and it's just shoot and you score at this stage.
Yeah, and you wonder where Grind's going here. High-level players should never be rotating out that far to the side for the big boost pads. We see it often in the lower ranks where they overcommit, they go for the side big boost, they go for the 100 and instead not back for the defense. They should be going through that midfield. There's plenty of boost opportunity to take, more than enough to keep you back on defense. And again, another defensive misplay causing another goal. And so far, it's not really been any clinical offensive plays. It's just been, if it's fair to say, a bit of a shambles on the defense, really.
Oh, that would have been a great goal there. A good pass and a decent shot, but just off the crossbar now it went. Toto trying to get this out of his own half, though, but the pressure's still there for the Fact Revolution side. They tried to get the pass center, couldn't find the touch. Banjo back to Day. The ball goes centre once more. Mike Boy not the best of touch off the backboard. Held to the side into the corner, but the pressure's still there. Grind can't get a touch on it. But Dave now, he's on the return, going for a bump. He finds it. The way net is scored upon by Grind, and 3-2 now to Fact Revolution.
Yeah, and that's a phenomenal bump coming the way from Day. Absolutely pivotal. Hones in like a missile on the final defender. Open goal being left to his teammate in Grind there. And like you say, another goal to the good, but this time from a brilliant offensive play. But it's got to be said, all really stemming from a Mike Boy mistake again. The 50 in his own half, leading to possession going towards him. I don't even get a chance to finish.
Toto! That's an excellent pass.
Yeah, no time to finish there. Toto passing that perfectly. Mike Boy with the knowledge to follow up. Doesn't really matter where you put it on target from there, because to be honest, at that speed, you're just not jumping in time. You've got to pre-jump that or you are not saving it. And it's as simple as that. And 3-3. And this really is a goal fest, but at least now the defense seems to have started to settle a little bit more for both teams. And we're seeing a bit more attacking prowess.
It's been better now, but this defense has still been shaky, and we've seen 2 saves in total this whole game so far, and there've been an opportunity, but about 10 more of them. But both of these teams are able to shoot. They just need to show that they can save now, and whoever gets really the best defensive showing is the team that's going to win. As both have been nothing to really be happy about, to be totally honest.
Yeah, I definitely think there's going to be some players that are going to need to switch up the styles that they're playing in defensively, particularly, and it's got to be noted, Mikey Boy, because some of the plays that he's been making, some of the decisions he's been making, especially taking those 50s in his own half, he hasn't been winning many of them, but he goes straight onto the offense from a good pass center from Toto there. And again, a bit of sloppy defending, really. Doesn't need to be that high up on the wall. We saw it earlier on the opposition side. Mike Boy being a little bit too high on the wall. And this time, it's going the way of Banjo being too high on the wall. And it just seems to be they're trading the same sort of mistakes.
Yeah, so they're learning from each other, but they're learning the bad things from each other. As the net left wide open once again. They've not beat out any defenders yet, so I can't even say how well they'll fare against other teams, because the goals have maybe looked nice, but nobody's been able to save them, so it doesn't really matter. And if who wins this is going to struggle against a team who can actually save a shot is going to be a completely different ballgame.
Yeah, they really are. The rotations from both teams just feel almost sloppy. They're just a little bit slow. Like, we've just seen a double commit again there from Mike and Toto, but Mike with a good little block there for once. And it's just, it seems to be the story of the match so far. Overcommits galore. And just bad positioning, as we see another goal being scored from what is arguably terrible positioning on the defense there.
I say about this then, it's nobody's in net. The last man goes up for it, nowhere near getting a touch. Are they talking to each other? Or are they just sitting silently, not looking where their teammates are? What are they doing here? Why is nobody back for that shot from Mike Boy? It's basic. They should be there.
Yeah, definitely the most basic Rocket League you can get. You always keep a man in defense, especially when you don't look like you're going to be pushing up on the attack. It didn't look like they were going to be clearing the ball anytime soon. In those situations, you've got to be back as fast as you can. We saw it earlier from Grind going for that mid boost and opting not to go back into defense. And he does it again, and it's caused another goal. And it just seems to be that this is going to be the story of every single game we watch. A few double commits coming out again from Grind and Banjo. Banjo just not needing to jump there. Instead, takes himself completely out of play and now left struggling trying to clear his own backlines.
Either way, Cheeky getting carried. They're 5-3 up with only 30 seconds left. It looks like they will be taking this game number 1 on the left back Revolution and pull off a medical when the really defensive looking. I wouldn't be too surprised, to be totally honest, but it looks to be holding on pretty well right now. That's a good pass out mid, but Grind isn't able to make it in time. Keeps the pressure on, but with only 10 seconds left, nothing is going to come of this. Cheeky, he can't get a touch. The ball hit out centre. A weak touch comes out. Grind can't do anything with it. It's a shot from Day off the crossbar, and that's going to be game number 1 going in favour of Cheeky getting carried.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I'm not overly impressed, shall we say, with the quality of the defense from both of these teams so far. They both started poor, to be honest. There isn't too much I can say with regards to that. Both of these teams should be performing so much better than what they were. We're seeing 6 saves come in the way of Cheeky getting carried. But at the same time, I think there was maybe one save or 2 saves from them in the first maybe 3 minutes of that match. And that's just not what you expect to see. We saw rotation mistakes. We saw just mental mistakes in general. We saw double commits. We saw triple commits in places that more often than not, nobody needed to commit. And it caused a lot of goals. 8 goals probably isn't reflective of the way these two teams played, because if the defense had even been remotely up to the scratch and up to the standard that it should have been, we might have just seen 1 single goal come in the way that game.
There was only about maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 pushing at shots that a normal defensive game would have probably went in. But this is not a normal defensive game because the defense doesn't exist in this game. hopefully this time around we can see something different. They can find their mistakes and they can improve on them. But unfortunately, I have my doubts. But I want to be proven wrong.
Yeah, definitely. I think if either team have to improve something, they've both got to improve the same thing here, which is just their defense. And they both know that. And I think it would just be the team who decides to capitalize on the early defensive mistakes first. They'll be the team to take this game.
Oh, Cheeky getting carried. They're already in attack. The ball drops down. No push up. Cheeky can get a touch on it. Might Boy getting bumped on his way back. And now there's an opportunity. Gets demoed in the process. Oh, the ball goes high. Cheeky. Off the backboard, drops it straight down into grind though. The ball goes centre, Banjo's up. That's off the crossbar, cleared away once again. And Bats Revolution. They're trying to find this early goal, but they're getting shut down very, very well. Cheeky now, on the ball hitting it centre, not finding a teammate in the process. Toto a bit slow, but he is able to get there and beat out one. Into the corner now, and struggling to find a pass. He has to back off. The ball going to be launched back upfield, and ping pong fashion. Might Boy's up for it, taken to the backboard. Can't find a second touch on it. But now it's Bats Revolution, they're stuck in the back line.
Yeah, we've seen a few plays coming out here where this Cheeky team is just trying to get demos. They're trying to get bumps, but they're just not doing it in the right places. You don't need to be going for bumps 24/7. You need to be creating opportunities instead. And these demos, they're coming out at times where the ball just isn't going towards the goal. They don't need to remove that final defender. What they need to remove is the boost from the corners, because they're just allowing the pressure to go back on them by fact the minute they allow that boost to still remain in their half. And that's something we haven't seen either team do yet.
Neither team have been entirely impressive, and to be fair, Cheeky getting carried, they have had an improvement in that latter half of game number one, and they're looking better now. And to be fair, Revolution, the defense is looking better. They're making saves this time around, so there has been an improvement, but nothing too substantial towards some good goals being scored, someone taking the lead here. It's just kind of evens right now, trying to find that first breakthrough. They might be able to do it, can't get it past Cheeky, and Might was able to get that away and go and attack of his own, but really nothing too threatening coming out from either team. I think they're too focused now in that defense, too worried to let anything go by. They're not going for anything too risky. They don't want to push up too far, take these risky plays and get these goals, which they probably could score.
Yeah, we see an attempted musty flick come in. It's nice that they're gaining that little bit of confidence now to go for different plays, to go for more fancy plays, but the decision making just seems to be a bit questionable at the best of times. We see Cheeky there doing pretty much nothing with the ball, pushing it up towards their opponent's half, towards Fact's defense, but no boost, no teammates up with them means no progression, means no chance to shoot, no chance to make any sort of opportunities, and that's something they really need to start developing. But an attempted 50 coming through from Mike, leaving himself with zero boost and having a forced rotation completely out of attack, and this is where they'll start struggling.
So, once outfield in the corner, tries to get a second touch. He does get it past Day, can't get a third though. He gets a bit delayed, it does go high, Day's able to clear it away, and we're still 0-0, and this is a lot better this time around. We may not have had any goals scored, but at least it's been solid enough that nothing stupid went in, nothing just flowing past every single player in the field and they're at the halfway line. It's been a lot more solid Rocket League, and a goal yet to be scored. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go to overtime, but I also wouldn't be surprised to see something slip by, as these teams are capable of getting some nice shots. They're just a bit too afraid to at the moment, as they don't want that defense to look anything like that game number one.
Yeah, we definitely haven't seen any teams taking any sort of plays that we could call a risk at the moment. We've seen a few misses coming through, we've seen a few double commits, but nothing drastic, nothing that we saw in the first game. And I think we even said it pretty much perfectly at the end of last game, and that was that the game could have been a 0-0 game, it could have been a 1-0 game. It was just those kind of shots being taken. They weren't anything spectacular. 8 goals was not reflective of the opportunities that were had, and this is much more like what we expect to see.
And Day almost reads that off the bounce there, and the missed touch in the defense almost worked in its favor. But Toso now trying to get out of defense, gets a great dunk on Day, launches that upfield to Banjo, though he has time. Cheeky going to try and come in, but a great pinch away from Banjo. That's back to Cheeky getting carried half, and Might Boy, not the best touch. Toto's there behind him to get the save. Might Boy tries to get it past Day, he's able to do so. The pressure's down there from Grind, launching that ball upfield. Ball lands to him, that's a shot, off the crossbar. Might Boy gets it away, and Bats Revolution, their best chance of this game, just off the crossbar and out.
Yeah, and that was a good decision there from Mike just to clear the ball. It's probably the first time that I've seen them hit the ball away without any real purpose at a time where arguably they should be doing so. It didn't look like they were going to get anything on target there. And it's just good decision making, really. We saw Mike struggling a few times in the last game with his decision. And some of the risks that he's taken now, some of the choices that he's making are definitely the right ones and definitely better this game.
Oh, he came down and got a touch, but Grimes there standing strong. Now it's Cheeky on the ball. Tries to get it past, but he cannot find it. Toto has to back off. Gets a touch there, but that's going to be left easily for Banjo. Grind just sits in net, waits for the ball to come to him. Mightboy can't find a touch. Cheeky on the ball now. Launching that upfield, finds Toto. Off the back wall. Day comes in, tries to put some pressure on. Now it's Grind. Taking the ball upfield. Low on boost. Day gets a demo. That's an open net, but Grind's had it wide. We talked how good they were at shooting, but that's been completely out the window in this overtime.
Yeah, that is a big miss to make. Even if you're waiting for your teammate to get the demo there, you have to be making sure you're putting the ball toward target at least. Because if the demo doesn't come through, at least there's a problem on defense. But if the demo comes through, at least it's not a wasted opportunity. And I've got a feeling that's not the first time, and it's definitely not the last time we're going to see this. As a double commit comes away, and now here's where the problems are going to start coming in for this Fact Revolution team. If they don't start mentally resetting, as I say that, they get the goal in the overtime anyway to completely rule out anything I was saying about potential overcommits.
So, that's a terrible touch off the corner there, hit straight out of centre to Grind. He can't get a touch on it, and we're going to game number 3. Win a piece now as Fact Revolution are able to take that overtime. Better game.
It's definitely a better game. Yeah, the defense was definitely holding up a bit more there, but we saw a lot fewer shots coming through. Neither team even looked like they wanted to risk an overcommit on the offense, because I think in that first game we might have seen 4, maybe 5 goals being scored from just pure overcommits and nobody really being in any sort of position to defend. This time, I feel like it was almost the complete opposite. There needs to be a happy medium that these teams need to find. They need to be pushing a player up to find those long clears that both teams are currently doing, and to be receiving those and trying to find a redirect, trying to find a problem that they can cause for the defense on either side. But at the moment, neither team are doing it. The first game we saw no offense. This game we saw the complete opposite. Always somebody in defense and nobody attacking as a real team.
It was really little offense and little threatening offense as well. We had 6 shots for Fact Revolution and 8 for the Cheeky and Carry side. And really the offense, it was not better the game number 1, but it was a lot more they took a lot more risks to find the goals they were taking, which isn't necessarily a good thing, but also necessarily a bad thing, as the players this time around were too hesitant to go for the ball, too hesitant to go for that attack, as they were worried that defence would be left wide open. It's still an issue with communication, not knowing where their teammates are, not trusting their teammates' positioning. And that's the issue with these teams right now.
Yeah, it definitely looks like the issues with the team. Like you say, the communication just seems to be a key problem for both teams. Neither one, especially when they're getting the ball out, seem to be aware of anybody on the pitch. We just saw it again there with a big double commit coming through. Banjo had the ball, had every opportunity to try and get a patient clear on, and Day just coming in a bit like a headless chicken really, and just chasing the ball down for no real reason. And the patience from both teams just isn't there. It just feels like rushed Rocket League at the moment with no real purpose for each of these hits coming through.
So, gets it over 1. Into the corner, puts it out of centre. A good 50, keeps it high though. The pressure's still there from Cheeky getting carried. Then it's still Cheeky on the ball himself. Can't get it past to get Mightboy, but Toto's able to launch it back upfield. Tries to find it off the backboard. Grind. Able to take control of it into the corner. Mightboy is there though, keeps the pressure on. Day out to the side, trying to find a teammate in the process. Are still stuck in their own half. They're able to get it away just for a second, but straight back to their net once again. Cleared away, but back once again. Ping pong in their own half at the moment. They cannot seem to get it out. Finally, a play comes to get it out, but she's getting carried. A good few opportunities there. They couldn't do anything with them though.
Yeah, and again, the risks look like they're being taken now by both teams. but you can see the double commits coming through. You can see the lack of offense slowly building up for both teams, and it's only a matter of time before we see a goal scored because of defensive misplacement on either team. Because as we're seeing even now, Cheeky with a huge overcommit, but the slow dribble out from Day, no real purpose to the play there. It's just a dribble out. It's not to a teammate. There's no real boost management able to keep a play alive. And again, we're just seeing the ball just left in the midfield. Neither team really taking any opportunity to make any play.
Okay, I'm going to try and make a play for himself. Gets it past Day. Tries to get it past Grind, but is able to win that 50. Now it's Day getting the demo. Dropping that back for Grind. He gets it past one. Can't take it around the corner wall. Can't get it past Cheeky though, but the ball goes centre once more. No one there to follow up. Going to be cleared away by Toto. Banjo. That's a pretty bad touch there. Mightboy has some time to get in, hit that high. That's a great pass to Toto. That's a great shot. That's an excellent save. So is that as well. Finally some shots coming out, but great defense there from Fat Revolution.
Yeah, and I think that might be the first time we've said in these games, fantastic shots coming out and fantastic defense. I think it's the first time it's been used in conjunction with each other, because at the moment, it's really the only time that either team have looked really damaging. As I say that, more opportunities now coming through for Cheeky, and this really is the Rocket League we were expecting to see. It might have taken a little while to achieve it, but it's finally looking like they're trying to achieve this victory as a team.
Much better. Fat Revolution, they are still struggling. They've not had a single shot this game, whereas Cheeky getting carried by a total of 6 so far, so it definitely has been their game. Luckily for Fat Revolution, they've done a great job in the defense, getting 6 saves to not allow any single one of them to slip by them, and some pretty good saves at that as well. But just a matter of time. I think if this keeps up, that Cheeky getting carried will find the goal. Is shot after shot after shot. Something will slip by. Something will just be a bit too difficult to save. So they need to do something about this quick.
Yeah, we all know the situations that happen from here. It's one of two things. Like you say, the relentless pressure being put on causes a goal, or a counter-attack comes through for a team like Fat Revolution and they score an easy goal because of an overcommit. And that is honestly what we were seeing in the first game. And we really do run the risk of seeing it again this game. But honestly, the pressure now from Cheeky just looks like it's going to be too much for this Fat Revolution team.
So like that, but if they can't finish, it's not going to be too much indeed. As Day is able to get it away, head out to the side. We'll try and go for a bit of attack if he don't. Misses that mid boost. Still able to get a good 50 there. Keep that pressure on. Cheeky out to the side. Tried to get that second touch, couldn't do it. Leads it for Toto, but pressure still being put on by Grind. Day's up for it. Can't find that touch. That's a shot from Mightboy. Banjo up to the crossbar, gets the save. Grind now trying to get this away, going attack of his own, but they cannot find the second touch. Cheeky hits it down the midfield. Toto not able to find it. Leaves it for Mightboy. He pops it up high. Has some time though, with no one puts some pressure on him. Day able to control it. It looks like we could be seeing another overtime right now. Is 10 seconds left. Ball's in the midfield. No really opportunities too present. Cheeky gonna try and find one last chance. Can't get it past though. The ball's out to the side, and it looks like for game number 3 we'll be getting an overtime.
Yeah.
Unless Toto, unless never mind. Don't listen to me. I'm wrong. That's a goal for Cheeky getting carried. They win 2-1.
Yeah, that just didn't look like that was going to happen at all. It really did feel like, of all the pressure that Cheeky had put on that final game, that Fat Revolution were just not going to cave. But in those final few seconds, all of those perfect rotations that we saw on defense in the final game for Fat Revolution just crumbled. We saw all 3 players going towards the same corner. We saw them tripping each other up, and that was all in the space of about 10 seconds. And Cheeky absolutely capitalized on that. They knew that Fat Revolution were getting absolutely no shots in, so they were more than happy to just let the pressure continue, let the pressure build up, assuming they would have the overtime to deal with. And you just can't risk that against a team like Cheeky. And it goes to show Toto managing to pull in that goal in what we thought was going to be overtime time.
The goal, and I've got to say, I was very much proved wrong. So it was a good performance for them at the end, but we are going to head to a quick break while we wait for our next game to come. Please stick around though. We have plenty of games to show you. That's just the first of many. So have a short break, and we'll be back very, very soon. And we are back after a short break. We're here with our round 3 match, and still, I'm still joined by Killsync, sorry, and we have, for our round 3 match, Coke and Pan versus Elite Squad.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be one of the matches that'll be quite a good quality, really. Both teams obviously gone through that first matchup now, so the flaws and the errors that we saw coming out from both teams really in that first matchup, hopefully we won't still be seeing progressing through here. And if we are, that's where we'll start seeing teams absolutely dominating their opponents.
Yeah, I'm hoping for not absolute domination, but things have changed now. From round 3 onwards, it will all be best of 5 instead of the previous made said semi-finals and finals only. So this is as well be a best of 5 matchups. We'll all be in for a hopefully a good one over on the late squad. It is Sky, Mirrorwing, and Aluvis, and over on Coke and Pan it is Oli, Flails, and Cammy. So squad by names probably have the stronger team, but I really wouldn't pass Coke and Pan. They're also a very good roster. I wouldn't put it past them to win this.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, for anybody who's seen any of the EURC plays recently, will know of Oli and will have seen the caliber of Rocket League he plays at. It's unbelievable. He plays so fast, so quick, and so precise. But we haven't seen him in this particular lineup. So that's where it's going to make all the difference. Plays well with his regular team for the EURC, but that's just a university team. Here, he gets his choice. And an early start, Oli can't quite find the drop down though. And this is where they'll start having a few problems, because trying to recover once you've gone that far up on attack, that can be a struggle even for the top tier teams.
So for an early start of this game, nothing too threatening coming out from either side. Coke and Pan probably have more shots. Yeah, they've had more shots coming out, but nothing too dangerous for the late squad. The ball wants to upfield by Mirror. Oli gets the clear away, find Aluvis, and a double commit there from Mirror and Aluvis. That could have an opportunity. A demo comes in from Sky and a clutch one at that. That could have been a great shot, but shut down. And now it's late squad got an attack of their own. And Oli gets to pass one. Sky's there waiting for the pass. Finds the pass. Bits too hard though. No one able to find a touch on it. Mirroring. The former RLRS player played for Servet Geneva last season, unfortunately demoted out of the rival series. And well, wish him the best at getting back in. He is part of that late squad roster. I'm expecting him to be still one of those top players we see in this game. And that's a great pass coming from him, saved by Oli from a weak shot. But they're still on the ball. Mirror gets a flip reset, gets it under one. Flails comes in though, clears it away, and you're still 0-0 after half the game gone.
Yeah, both teams we're already seeing starting so much faster than we've seen previous matches in. These guys are actually willing to take the risks that some of the other teams weren't quite willing to take. And that's partly owed to the caliber of skill these guys possess. They are absolutely clinical in every area of the field. They're capable of the air dribbles. They're capable of the ceiling shots, the flick resets, the good pass downs.
Sky. What a drop down that was.
Yeah, this was a absolutely sublime team play there. Aluvis to Sky, Sky back to Aluvis, and Aluvis, okay, fortunate that he's managed to get the second touch from the initial save, but nevertheless, they deserved the goal just from the sheer quality of that team play, and that is something that will tear apart some of the other teams in this tournament. Fortunately here, these two are actually quite evenly matched, so plays like that have to be perfect to actually work.
The ball away from his net, gets a second touch on it. Cammy comes in, keeping that ball in a dangerous position. Aluvis now in the corner, low on boost. Gets it past Flails. Oli, sorry. The shot coming out, Sky able to find the save, the ball still dangerous. That's a great shot from Cammy. No one able to get a touch on it, slips under the crossbar, and we're all tied up.
Yeah, and this, again, is just the perfect positioning from Cammy there. He's waiting on that side. He knows full well if it goes the opposite side, he's got a teammate there. He is well aware of where everybody is positioned on that field, can see the ball coming to him before it even reaches him, and then immediately shoots that towards target, doesn't go for a pass, doesn't try to make up any sort of setup play, can see a good, strong shot will definitely get it past the defense, and they tie up the game. And this is the style of Rocket League we want to see, but that one is a simple shot for Flows this time. This is a great demo coming through. Sky already up, trying to stop that ball, but Flows is just following that immediately, knowing full well there's a player less in defense, and that's 2-1, an immediate response to the 1 goal scored early on by Lake Squad.
Lake Squad, they had a great start, but the defense there, it was non-existent, and reminiscent of that first series once again. The defense just went missing. They went to their own region now by themselves, but the offense is still there, and that's the shot coming out. Lewis almost drops it in. Flails gets a clear upfield. The shot, Cams on the ball himself, gets it over Mirror. Hits to the side by Lewis, but Owe gonna keep that in a dangerous position. Can he get a second touch on it? Yes, he can. No team there to follow. Keeps the pressure on. Mirror tries to find the clear, gets a demo instead. Lewis can't find a touch on it. Leaves it for Sky. He gets the pass out. Mirror's backed off, though, not able to find the touch. The shot comes out. Sky misses the ball. Lewis now hits it high. Still an opportunity, but no one getting a touch on the ball there. And well, Kokenpan, I wouldn't say they dealt with it greatly. He didn't have to deal with anything. The shot just didn't happen whatsoever.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Kokenpan perfectly positioned regardless. Even if the shots do find a way through, they're able to deal with them as if they're not really a problem. And that's something that we haven't really seen at the moment from this Lake Squad, but they deal with that perfectly in a good flick over. But again, the recovery and the positioning on defense here from this Kokenpan team is just tearing Lake Squad apart at the moment, because they can't get any really good opportunities coming through. Some simple saves being made from Kokenpan, and it's just making the aggression and the attacking abilities from Lake Squad just look a little weaker than they actually are, because this is an extremely strong side coming out here.
Kokenpan had so many more shots than the Lake Squad. It was 12 shots to 6. The Lake Squad, they dealt with it somewhat, getting 7 saves between them. Sky getting 5, which is a great defensive performance from him, but it wasn't enough. They had a few misses in defense, which resulted in pressure getting put on them, goals being scored, and we've seen that one bit of pressure they had on Kokenpan, there's about 10 misses of the ball there, which could have been great shots, great goals, but Kokenpan just had to sit back and relax and watch the show drive by.
Yeah, Kokenpan didn't really have too much of a trouble at any point in time in that game. It didn't really feel like Lake Squad obviously had the early opportunity, but Kokenpan immediately responded, and that's something that they did even when they were playing in EURC. They'd go a goal down, and immediately Oli would look to respond. There was no delay. There was no hesitation. It was an immediate pressure until the ball eventually went in. And this time they were fortunate enough to not only get the pressure for the first goal, but to immediately follow that up again with the second goal. And I can imagine they'll look to continue that momentum into the second game and just straight take the victory, because they definitely do not want to give this Lake Squad a chance to get back into this game.
They definitely don't. And the Lake Squad, I already mentioned how good team they are. They didn't really show what I was hoping from them in that first game. Hopefully I can see better from them, but Kokenpan, they'll be hoping the opposite. They want to keep on seeing this sloppiness, and we'll be able to find the goals for themselves, and we'll maybe take this in a sweep, but they are only 1 game up. It's a best of 5. Still plenty of time for the Lake Squad to fight back, maybe win this for themselves. It's going to be tough, but definitely possible.
Yeah, and early off, the passes are still coming through from this Kokenpan team. They are just not letting up at all. They always seem to know where each other are, and the passing plays coming through from them, it just feels like the comms, whatever they're saying to each other, is just seamless. It feels like they're just playing with one brain. Their rotations, perfect. They're attacking, perfect. They don't seem to be committing in places they don't need to. The minute they see themselves with a good opportunity, they will just pounce. And if they don't feel like there is one, you'll see all 3 players prepared to rotate back just to allow themselves a bit more of an opportunity to reset and attack later.
Listen, the ball now, trying to clear it away. Flails is right there, keep the pressure on. Sky, he hits it high. Trying to find a Lewis upfield, but Cam's now dropping it down. Mirror's booming that ball upfield, but no one able to follow up on that. Always going to find the path to Flails. Back to Ole once more. A bit slow in that, but he fakes out one. The ball goes centre. Flails is up for it. Gets a touch, but it's out to the side. Cleared away. But Cam's can keep that pressure on. The first bit of a major attack coming out from Kokenpan, probably the first of any team this game. Nothing scored as of yet, but it's looking dangerous for the late squad.
Yeah, and the pressure just not really going to either side at this point in time. Every time it looks like Kokenpan is going to get a good, solid attack in play, late squad just clear the ball, and they're happy to do so. And it's not a massive clear. It's not a great clear. Half the time, it's not even going to a team member, but it's relieving pressure enough so that Kokenpan are forced to try and reset and attack back from their own half. And that's slow enough that it's allowing this late squad to deal with it, because that was one of the problems they were having last game. They were allowing Kokenpan to go too high, too fast, and that was causing problems. But that was a misplay on defense there by what looks like Flaws. He looks like he goes to jump for it, comes back down, and then leaves himself short, tripping himself up on that sidebar, sorry, and Mira just follows up for an easy shot. And a misplay on defense last game from late squad, and this game is Kokenpan.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate miss. They just rolled up the post, just clipped his wheel on it, but shouldn't be making those mistakes. You shouldn't be that close to the post where that could happen. It could have been a better position for you to be in there, but they were learning the lesson from that one, as you're now 1-0 down with half the game gone. Not really much pressure put on from either team at the moment, so I would be surprised to see it be a 1-goal game. Kokenpan have a lot of work to do if they want to change that otherwise, but that goes centre. Luvas tries to win a shot himself. Launched up field by Ole. Mirror's pushed up. He gets there back in time. Ole puts the centre. Drops down to Mirror. He's trying to get it away, but Flares comes in. Hits it high. Luvas drops it down. But straight to Cams. That's past one. Ole's up. Saved by Sky. But Cams keeps the pressure on into the corner. Low on boost. Mirror's able to clear it away. Just for a minute. Alleviates some of that pressure, but it's took right back on as Flares comes in. Ole leaves it for Cams off the back wall. Cams, he hits it wide. That could have been a goal, but the shooting's just not there at the moment.
Yeah, and we discussed it at the end of last game, that when Ole concedes a goal, and I have to say Ole just because it's been in the two teams I've seen him in, the minute Ole concedes a goal, the pressure he then puts onto the opposition is unbelievable. It's literally insane. Almost a great double touch. Then we both got excited to potentially see that one coming through. But still, the pressure has just not left this defense for late squad right now. They're not going to be able to keep this up forever. And at some point, the goal is going to come the way of Kokenpan. It just feels like a matter of when, not if at the moment.
So that indeed, Fluid comes in, can't find a touch on it. Aluva's going to have time in his corner. Cam comes in to keep some pressure on, though. Ole gets a touch, it goes centre. Sky going to clear it away. Cam's has to back off, take some time, boom that back up field, and Fluid's it up for it. Can't find a touch, but Aluva's can drop it down. They're trying to hold off at the moment, is what Late Squad's trying to do. They're 1-0 up, only 30 seconds left. Just run down the clock, and they'll take game number 2. Sky drops it down straight into Fluid. Aluva's gets a touch. Stuck in the Kokenpan's half at the moment. They need to get it out soon if they want this goal. Ole hits it high. They try and make a path to Cams. No boost to do so. Sky's there, able to take control of it. Just waste some time. Flails comes in, loses that 50. Miller launches it upfield. This looks like it could be it at the moment. 10 seconds left. They're stuck in the Kokenpan half. They're not going to break out in time. That's not the best of touches. And Sky gets that back upfield. I think Late Squad are going to take game number 2 right now, unless they can keep this ball up at the 0 second. But Lewis meets it in the air. Cam keeps it up though with the pass to Ole. Gets it over 1, up to the sidewall. Sky going to drop it down in Late Squad. They take game number 2.
Yeah, and Late Squad, they deserved the victory just through sheer consistency throughout that entire match. They never faltered on defense once. 5 saves does not give them credit for how much they had to hold off Kokenpan in those finals, maybe 2 minutes. And especially in that maybe 1 minute period from between about the 2 minute mark and the 1 minute mark left. There was just relentless pressure from Kokenpan. It was attack after attack after attack, boost starving Late Squad, so they had nothing to share between their entire squad, and still they didn't concede. And that is what separates the good teams from the fantastic teams. And both teams here, even though Kokenpan almost felt like they did everything they could, the one mistake is enough to be punished. And at these kind of levels, you make one mistake, you lose the game, and it's as simple as that. And Late Squad and Kokenpan proved that here.
The squad did a good job at holding on there, and Kokenpan, even with all the shots they took, it just was not enough. And Let's go. They will hold on, tie up the series, and make it 1-1. But Kokenpan, they still look pretty threatening for the late squad. They just been able to hold off for just long enough. I feel if that attack came any quicker, a goal would have been found. Unfortunately, though, for Kokenpan, it was not, and we are now 1-1 in the series.
Yeah, when Cam was forced to rotate back into defense and was forced to go and take that back 100 boost, all of the pressure was just relieved instantly, and that's not a mistake they'll make again. If they find themselves in that situation, they have to just keep pressuring. It doesn't matter how much boost they're left with. You just got to keep going, but that's an open goal from a fantastic pass there from Flows, and it's a complete solo play from him there. Great boost management, good pinch off into the corner post. I don't think either defender was expecting it, but nevertheless, you cannot allow yourself to be baited 2 defenders into the same corner, because against a team like this, you're going to get scored on, and 15 seconds in, and they're finding themselves a goal down already.
Go down already. That was sloppy play. That could be a second as Cam comes in. Miller stands strong in the goal. Find the save. But Ole there. And put some pressure on. He goes out to the side. Ole hits it high. Low boost, but can follow up. Throws it down to Cams. Cams taps it upfield. No follow up from Ole. Sky going to try and take it away, but nothing coming off this attack as of yet. Lewis, he takes it high off the ceiling. He's got his flip. That's off the backboard now. Can't follow up. Gets cleared out to the side. The pressure's still there. Miller drops it down. Sky can't make it in time, and that's going to be cleared away by Ole. But Lewis out to the centre. Sky once again not able to be found. They're going for the passes. They're not connected on them. Lewis back upfield. That's a launch. Not on target. The defence makes it back in time anyway. Miller keeps the pressure on though. With that demo, it just gives them a bit more time to get on the attack.
Yeah, and something that we didn't really see from this Kokenpan team last time was the rotation cutting in the midfield to take the pressure and just take the possession away from this late squad. But we've seen it from Ole twice already in this game where they're willing to take the pressure off, and that's a triple commit and an open goal, but a miss from Flows. And he should have looked for the pass in to Ole. You cannot be that greedy in a game like this. You have to look for the pass unless you can guarantee the goal. He doesn't, and instead that is the punishment for the greed that is shown. And unfortunately for them, a bad clear off of the backboard from Ole passes it straight to Mira, and Mira punishes the earlier miss from Kokenpan. It should be 2-0. Instead, it's 1-0.
My hands on my head at the moment. Flails. What was that? Even if you don't want to pass it there, you want that goal. That's a shot you should be making any day of the week. It wasn't that difficult, and you're skiving it like that. A goal's then conceded on their side, 1-1. That is not good enough, and disappointing to see. They were looking so good until then.
Yeah, they really were, and you wondered the mental effect that's going to have on this team. I say that, and Ole almost immediately responds with a goal, as if to say it's going to do nothing to me, thank you very much. But still, the pressure needs to come through from this team, because after that miss, they're going to be holding their heads a little bit lower, regardless of what caliber player you are. The higher you are, if you miss shots like that, they're the ones that really put a damper on your day. And Flows here will just need to reset mentally and in game, because at the moment he's not even rotating with his team now, and it's looking a little bit off.
Sloppy Ole comes in, couldn't find a touch. Sky trying to get a touch on that, trying to drop it to Mirrorvine, couldn't find it. Lewis comes in, hits it upfield. Ole up to the backboard. Mirror can't find a touch on it. Instead he gets into his own net. I was wrong about not finding a touch on it. That's exactly what he done, just towards the wrong net.
Yeah, and there isn't really much you can say about plays like this. Mira does not need to be jumping that early with a man in defense, and even if he does, you have to be focusing on where you're hitting that ball. You have every option to choose from. You can re-hit it back into the backboard, you can put it into the sidewall, you can drop it down for your teammate, but the one place you don't want to be dropping it is definitely into your own net. But unfortunate misplay. I think it almost feels like a little bit of justice for Kokenpan. They should have been the goal up anyway. That's just a little bit of relief from them.
This off the bat wall finds one. Nothing found of it. Mirror trying to keep that pressure on, pass it in midfield. Sky's nowhere near that. Flawless has plenty of time to get that away. Gets over Sky. Lewis does find it though into the corner. Can Sky follow up? He goes for the bump on Cams instead. The ball drops in front of the net. Falls hits it away. Up high to Ole. He gets bumped in the process. Lovis has a shot. Just up above the crossbar though. Hit away to the side. And the shot from Late Squad. Barely. And I mean barely missing the back of the net.
Yeah, and it just feels as if Late Squad now are chasing this 1-goal deficit. And as I say that, they chased a little bit too hard there. They were taking themselves completely out of position in most of the plays they were making there. They needed to rotate back properly. Mira needed to go back post there. Should not have been cutting into the same corner as his teammate. And they are punished for that decision. But I was just about to say how much it looked as if Late Squad were chasing the game when they didn't need to be. It was only 1 goal down with a minute remaining. And now 3 goals down. And it almost feels like a bit of karma for how much they were pressuring and pushing up when they just didn't need to. That did look like a high-level team for the past maybe 30 seconds, and they've been absolutely destroyed by Kokenpan for it.
Destroyed and completely down right there. That was not a good showing from them in this last about 20 seconds of the game. How many more goals will Kokenpan score now? The game's pretty much over for them. This will be 2-1 up. Is that a 5th goal? Yes, it is. Nothing really to say about it. The game's been over since that 3rd goal was scored, really.
Yeah, and you would never believe that Late Squad looked like they were in it this match. Because at one point, it never looked like Late Squad were really going to struggle in this match. Kokenpan were a little bit all over the place in maybe 30 seconds, minute of the match. They didn't look like they were too confident. And then all of a sudden, a few mistakes from Late Squad, and that was it. Kokenpan just looked like a completely different team. They were ready. They were raring to go. And at this point in time, it looks like they're just going for the Brazil, to be honest.
It does look like that, indeed. As the clock ticks down, it's 5-1. Paul launches the ball upfield. Can't find another goal from that. Lewis hits out to the side. Cams had to get that pressure on. It's a done game. It's been done for a while now. Kokenpan, they take game number 3, put themselves 2-1 up in the series, match point. Can they win it out in the next game?
I think it's worth noting that even though there was only 12 seconds there, Cam still went for a pass infield instead of opting to go for any sort of solo play. Now, I've seen plenty of high-level teams play. I've casted on a few, and no one does that. Most teams look for those fancy little plays. Cam just looked for a good infield pass to try and break down the defense. Even though it was 5-1, he did not care at all. They're just looking for more goals and to dish out more punishment to this Late Squad. They don't want Late Squad coming into this 4th game thinking they have a chance of pulling it back. They just want to punish.
Punishing, well, it's working out for them. It's nice to see at the end they're going for the pass and still trying to keep that bit of what's the word, momentum on, really, just trying to make sure they still know what they're doing, get things going well. But at the end of the day, they'd already won the game. They just are playing around, playing with their food, getting ready for this next one, which is good to see. We're gonna have to go for a quick remake though, as a maintenance server. Same old with Rocket League. That very, very shortly though. So
yeah, if anything, actually it feels like it happens more now than it used to. The server maintenance has always been a little bit of an issue, but we're going up. So we've got obviously Kokenpan going the 2 games to 1 at the moment, and if they continue to play the way they just played, I honestly do not believe Late Squad really have a chance, because in those last maybe 3.5 minutes, that was an unbelievable destruction on offense. Late Squad just looked like they stood no chance of saving anything.
They really did not, and Kokenpan had such a good job at passes that I would not be surprised to see them win this out right now. 3-1 is what I expect it to be at this stage. If Late Squad can surprise me, it would be a huge surprise, to put it simply, as them winning this would be shocking. But we're ready. The players can get back in. get going. It's game number 4. Coke and Pan 2-1 up. It's match point. Can they win out right now?
Yeah, they definitely have every opportunity to, but they need to start off as strong as they did in game number 2, because in that game, they came out of the gates looking like the team that was the most confident and the team that wanted to score the most. And immediately it's what they've done here, almost getting the first goal in a similar fashion to how Coke and Pan did it in the last game, but just allow the pressure to immediately be taken back off.
Those hits it up to Ole. Ole can't get the best touch on it. Flus has to go back, take control. A bump in the defense though from Cams. Messy, messy. And once again, we see communication being the issue, not trusting your teammates, a bit all over the place, and that could have been a big issue there. Luckily for them, they weren't able to do anything with it. But both teams and both teams we've seen have had a good few issues with communication.
Yeah, late squad, if you're them at this point in time, you've got to be punishing those kind of plays. The minute a team bumps their own teammates, you have to be questioning how you're not scoring from that situation and how you have nobody on offense following it up. Because it's just, as much as I hate to say it, I mean, these guys are great, but it is weak attacking.
Attacking, that's a shot coming out. Ole able to find a save with a soft, slow roller there. And easy enough save. Had to stretch his way up to the crossbar, but he was able to keep it out and going for a shot of his own now. Gets it over Aluvis off the post. That's a pass to Flails. He can't find it though. And the ball's up high, mirror. Up to Aluvis, that's getting cleared up to the side. Cam's going to come in, try and boom that ball back upfield. Finds Flails. He can't find the touch on it. Cleared away by Sky once more. Coke and Pan getting shut down when they're going for these attacks at the moment. It's a good job from late squad, but they keep getting these glimpses of breaking back out, and that's dangerous for late squad.
Yeah, late squad, every time they get some sort of attacking play going, they are forced immediately back onto defense. And it is just using all of the boost they have to do it. And I don't even think they've realized that that is what Coke and Pan at the moment, it feels like, are forcing them into doing. Because Coke and Pan still look like they're in control of this, even though they're not getting the stronger plays, they're not getting the stronger goals. As I say that, an almost double touch coming through. But it really looks like they're just trying to force this late squad into their own half, because Coke and Pan almost always have a player back at the moment. It feels like they're attacking with 2. Their rotations are very, very deep at the moment, and something we did not see from this Coke and Pan team in the last 2 games.
Bill's going to launch the ball upfield, no teammate found. Mirror instantly shutting that down, returning it for himself. Sky comes in, not fast enough. Ole, find the pass to Sky, can't get a return though, and launched upfield by Aluvis. Mirror now to the back ball off the corner. Flails is there, finds Ole. Not good enough though, that's a shot coming out. It's saved, and barely saved by Ole. That was late squad's best chance, and Ole made a miraculous save to keep that out of the net. Now they want a counter-attack of their own. The ball goes high, Ole has to back off. The Cams is there. Leaves it for Flails. It's up. Always up for the shot. Off the backboard. Can't get the second touch. Flails has to take control of it. Goes for the flick. Can't get over Aluvis either. But Coke and Pan after that insane save from Ole are on an attack of their own.
Yeah, and if you're late squad here, you have to be questioning how you didn't score from that last play. You need to have a man following a little bit. Aluvis was slow to the follow-up on that last shot. It's no real fault of his own. It's difficult to attack with all 3 players up, but when you're chasing the lead in games and you have the perfect opportunity to score, you've got to be doing more to chase that. And immediately pressure goes back in the favor of Coke and Pan, and it just seems to be the story of this match.
The shot off the backboard. Aluvis, can he follow up? Yes, he can. Saved by Flails. Only able to get it away. Just barely, though. And some very, very close attempt from the late squad. All getting dealt with well by Coke and Pan, but they're still stuck in their own half. Miller's up for it. That goes high, though, just off the crossbar. Cams has time to get it away. Tried to find the pass to Flails. Couldn't do it. Sky hits out to the side. Flails gets control of it. Find the pass to Cams. Out to Ole. That's nowhere near a teammate, though, off the side wall. No one able to follow that up. But the ball hits straight into Flails. It's up for Cams. Cams, can he follow? He can, but it's cleared by Aluvis just in time. 20 seconds left. We could be seeing overtime here in game 4. Late squad have done so much better this time around.
Yeah, Late Squad this time finally look like they've been defending, and they look like they've been doing it as a team. It's not one individual player that's being relied on, it's the entire squad. We saw Sky being the main person to be relied on in defense, and it almost a goal being scored before that overtime mark. But overtime in this fourth game, and Late Squad just need to keep doing what they're doing, because we saw them do this in a previous game. They only won the 1-0, but it didn't matter because you keep that consistent throughout the entire match and you can beat out your opponents.
Rotating now, Coke and Pan. They've been on the defense a lot of this time around, has had to make some miraculous saves. But Gordon, that could be a chance right now. Oh, he's up for it. How to the side by Sky. And now it's Flails on the ball. Find the pass out mid. Cams, he gets a touch on it. Nothing substantial though. Cleared away by Mirror. Flails has to back off into the corner. Just take his time. He's got plenty of it. The Sky comes in and hits it up to Oli though. Aluvis gets it in the middle. That could be a great shot. He's coming down. Cams gets a save. Oli hits it out to the side. And Coke and Pan, nothing seems to get past them at the moment. They just need to get a goal of their own, and this will be theirs.
Yeah, and I think it goes to show the confidence that Coke and Pan have both on offense and defense when Oli knows he can play it across his own goal. But saying that, no opportunity to clear that one. It was the right move to make the last time, the wrong move to make this time. Passes it straight into the path of Mirror, and Mirror making no mistakes. And again, Late Squad win their second game by just the 1-0.
Go to now. That was all they needed though, and after so many saves, they just couldn't get one more. That ball slips in from Late Squad. Mirror a great shot. Just a bit too high for the last defender to find it, and Late Squad, they tie up the series 2 apiece, and I told you I'd be surprised, and I very much am. They turned that around greatly.
Yeah, they did turn it around great. It looked as if Coke and Pan really did have that game in the bag. They were defending at the highest rank you could possibly defend at. They were rotating perfectly. They were backboard reading perfectly. Oli was making the right decisions when it came to where he was placing the ball, but that final decision to put it over his goal and put it high was just the wrong one. Wasn't quite aware of where the offense was for that Late Squad team, and Mirror just reading it perfectly. And it was something they hadn't done at all, because Late Squad really weren't that offensive that game. They stayed quite defensive, and it worked for them for the most part. They forced so much pressure from Coke and Pan that it almost tired Coke and Pan out mentally. They immediately tried to find a response to that in the overtime, and Late Squad punished it.
Flails tries to drop it down, getting out of the goal from Oli's shot. It's saved by Mirror, but Cam's straight on the attack once again. Drops down. Mirror gets a good second touch on that. Olivia able to clear it upfield, up to Mirror. Mirror drops it down in front of net. Cam's is waiting there to get that ball away, and now it's Flails. Can't find the touch. Sky not able to react to the miss though. Cam gets that pass Aluvis into the corner. Mirror's up for it once again, but Oli can't find the touch either. Mirror, no boost though to follow up. That could have been a great attack, but Sky hits it wide. Aluvis comes in though, and Late Squad, they're coming out for the early attack. Not common we've seen from them, but they are the striking force at the moment.
Yeah, they are, and I think the one thing I'm not seeing from either team that actually has become more of a meta in the game at the moment is demos and bumps on the rotation out. We just saw Cam try it there, actually, just as I'm talking about it. But for the most part, it hasn't been a key element of either of these teams' play styles. It's really just been attack, pressure, and hope that they get a goal from it. But there have been copious amounts of opportunities for both teams to take away the pressure. As we just say there, Cam does it perfectly. Now only one on the attack, and it makes it a lot easier to defend. But that kind of play, it almost feels like they're listening to what we're saying, because those kind of plays weren't happening the first time we see it, and it takes away all attacking opportunity for Late Squad.
Boy, tries in the path. The Flails couldn't do it. Mirror intercepts. He's taking the ball upfield himself. Gets the centre. No one able to follow up. He passes it back to Sky. Sky has time to react to it. Hits it high. Trying to get it over Oli, but it drops down to Mirror once more. Gets the dribble. Gets it over one. The shot's on target. Flails gets the save. And center it once more. Oh, he clears it away up to Flails. They try and get it off the backboard. Sky's right there to clear it away though. Shot once again, shut down in the Koken Pan side, and they still remain scoreless. And for the last 2 games now.
Yeah, these 0-0 positions that they find themselves in is where they thrive, I was going to say. And they do that perfectly. Mira, again, with some of the clutch plays when this late squad team is on 0-0. Great touch off of the sidewall and gets that last little touch just to take it over the final defender there and pop it into the goal. Hitting the crossbar and just bouncing down in time. Fantastic shot from him and fantastic decision-making.
Leverage off a boost they had there to finish that. Oh, but that's a quick return from Cams. We had a 0-0 game, but in a matter of seconds, it's already 1-1 off the kickoff right there. Oh, a good 50. Finding Cams. No defender left to save it. We're all tied up with half the game left to go.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they're reading from the same script we are. We said how much they look for the immediate response to goals. They do not take any time to relieve any pressure they'd previously put on. And again, they do it perfectly. And we go from having a 1-0 game and it looks like Late Squad are doing great to immediately back to what feels like 0-0.
Boy, has it out to Flails. Stuck in his own half right now, low on boost, gets it past Turo. That's a great use of the boost. Olivia, so he's able to get a touch on that, give his teammates some time to get back. The ball goes centre, Mirror able to clear it away, but straight to Ole. He hits it up, Flails comes in, there's no boost on the side of Mirror. He pinches it up high in front of net. That's going to be an easy finish for Ole, and Kokenpan take a 2-1 lead now with 2 minutes left.
Yeah, and this is what happens when the player who takes the 100 gets demoed. No boost to use between the late squad defense, and Kokenpan punish it. Oli staying in the right position, making sure he's available and still up there ready for the pass and the potential shot, and he does so perfectly. You know, whatever comms are happening in those Kokenpan Discords or wherever they are, the team speaks are just sublime. The call outs are absolutely perfect because the decision making seems to be made by everybody on the field and not just a singular player.
Oh, Oliver's now on the ball. Hits it up high. Oh, intercept. It drops down in front of net. Mirror. Gets the ball upfield himself. Launches that past one. Cam's able to make the save. With 1 minute 20 seconds left, all Kokenpan need to do is hold on. They've got a 2-1 lead. It's not much. If they can extend on that, it'd be so much better for them. Mirror, he misses the touch there. The ball goes centre. Luvis able to get it away. Sky not able to rush in time. Oh, he hits it high though. This could be a third goal. Saved by Luvis. Off the backboard now. The pressure's still there. Mirror now. Launching it upfield to Sky. Can't find the touch either. Constantly getting shut down by Kokenpan. And this is so much like game number 3. They've got all the pressure now. They've got all the control. This is their game to have.
Yeah, it completely is. Kokenpan is not allowing an inch of space for this late squad team. Every time late squad get the ball, they immediately look to clear it back into their defensive half. And it is just unbelievable the amount of pressure that one team can put on. It feels as if they're playing with 4 or 5 players, because at this point they always seem to have boost, they always seem to be in the right position, and they always seem to be outpacing, outplaying their opponents.
Upfield though, gets a touch. 15 seconds left. A goal's needed to tie us up. Send us to overtime. Sky takes it away. Cam is there to intercept. It's stuck in the late squad half. They have one last chance, but it's not going to happen. Owe, he finds the third goal of the game for Kokenpan. They're 3-1 up now. 6 seconds left. There's no way Late Squad can come back from this. Kokenpan are going to take this series.
Yeah, they are. It would take an absolute miracle right now for Late Squad to come back from this. They'd need 2 kickoff goals pretty much on the bounce, and that one is not what they needed. That is not going to allow enough time. Even if it went straight in from Sky's shot there, it still wouldn't allow enough time for the kickoff. And as the ball goes down, Kokenpan go through on a 3-2 victory. Both teams trading games there. Fantastic series to watch, and really shows the caliber of players we have available in this tournament.
Performing from Kokenpan. Late Squad, they almost brought it back, but just not good enough. They'll be eliminated. Kokenpan will move on to the quarterfinals to face off against With My Boys. And With My Boys, that's not going to be an easy opponent to face. That match will be happening on stream though. We do not have our confirmed teams for our on-stream match yet, so we will be heading to a quick break while we wait for matches to catch up. So be sure to stick around. We will not be long. And welcome back, everybody. We're in our quarter-finals now of the Rocket Kingdom One-Shot Cup. It's the first of the One-Shot Cups, and still joined by Killslink and Crafters on production still.
Yeah, and it's still lovely to be here. Looking forward to seeing this next series, especially after how the games went just a second ago, because that was incredible quality.
That was a good last series there, and hopefully another good one. We've got Storybud and UWE Boltner. We can send our players in, get things going. It's still a best of 5 for the quarter-finals. Storybud consisting of Growly, Mug, and Rob Kieran. UWE Boltner consisting of Dead Monster, Noah, and Catalysm, but just waiting for the players to get in. There we are. I think there's a bit of time joining, but we're all in now. We're ready to get things going. UWE Boltner versus Storybud, who will take it and make their way to the semi-finals.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some argument about who maybe should win this match. Some of the more notable players probably go in the way of Storybud, but both teams have got to this stage, and both teams have got here for a reason. They've both beaten out some good quality teams as well, so it's fair to say it's going to be high quality Rocket League right here.
I'm going to go in the other side of you, and I'm probably going to say I have this for UWE. Team of Dead Monster, Catalysm, and Noah. Not something people want to be facing against. They're all excellent players. I don't think I recall seeing them ever team together, or any of you guys really team together for a significant kind of tournament or time, but my first time seeing these guys for what I can remember. So I'm hoping to see a good performance. They're all excellent players in their own right. So I want to see how they can link up. I've seen Storybud a good few times. I don't remember them playing with Mug when I last saw them, but I might be remembering with that one. But Rob Kieran and Growly, I definitely remember playing together, and they were an excellent team when I've seen them. So both of these guys have some great talent on their teams. But I'm going to give it to UWE right here.
Yeah, well, at the moment, neither team have really started spectacularly. Both teams very slow to make any sort of plays. We're seeing a few demos and bump plays coming out quite early from this UW Boltner team, but it's not doing much to damage the defense of Storybud because they're just allowing too much time to recover. And by the time you've allowed a team to recover from a demo, that's 33 extra boost they didn't necessarily have beforehand. So you can actually leave a team in a better situation if you demo them and don't take the opportunity to really capitalize on it.
Nothing too threatening coming out as of yet for both sides, says Growly. On the ball, trying to get it back to Mug. Mug goes into Rob Kieran, he gets a touch on it, hits it high. No power on that whatsoever. It's going to be easy for Noah to deal with. Tries to get out of his own half, but Growly with the shot going completely wide. Catalysm now on the ball and take it up the wall himself. Can't find a teammate to pass to, so he's going to go for a solo play. Gets it over Mug. Can't find a bump on Growly. A great solo play right there. Just couldn't finish it off. Cleared away by Growly, and the first threatening play of the match shut down.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting to see how these two teams have started, because in the first match we saw defensive errors, we saw offensive. Then in the second match, they seemed to pick up the defensive errors and make a few less overcommits on the attack. And we said that, you know, these teams needed to start going for demos and bumps more. And then in this game, straight off of the bat, both teams going for demos and bumps. And it just feels as if every team's listening, but not using every element that maybe they need to. But an early start and the bump plays coming through, and that's why you need to do them, because it opens the opportunity for some great solo plays to continue. Robbie with a great 50, and then the bump play into the goal, forcing Noah to make the initial jump, getting him out of the way, and that is how you score the first goal.
And that's a good first goal for Storybud there, taking advantage of the openness of the defense from UWE. And UWE now, they have some fighting to do to bring it back themselves. Dead Monster gonna hit it high, can't find a teammate though, and it's now just Growly. A great shot, no one makes it back in time. 2-0 now for Storybud. They've got a lead in a good one at that.
Yeah, and the speed of recovery here from Growly, unbelievable. To land your car perfectly to the point of being able to flip straight into it and aim for goal. That's something that the really high level players do. Often players will try and get behind the ball and go for a shot. Growly doesn't need to do that. He's prepared to just get the corner of his car onto a place where he knows he can get an angle, does so perfectly, and just manages to beat out the defense. It looked as if they'd be able to get it for a second, but great shot coming through from Noah as I'm talking about the last goal. Robbie, a bit of a poor clear off of his backboard, but Cataclysm dropping it straight down for Noah, and nobody stands a chance of saving that. And that's a great way to pull a goal back.
A great way. Only one goal down now. 1 minute, 40 seconds left on the clock. Storybird lead been halved by that one opportunity there. Noah able to find a goal, but can he find one more? There's not much time left. We get some fighting to do. The Storybird are coming straight back out and coming straight back out very, very fast as well. Growly had to drop the ball down. Couldn't find a good touch there. Noah going to launch the ball upfield. Catalysm has to back off as Deadmon's the last man back in defense. Mug can't find the touch. Rob himself though, that's off the post and in. How's he finding that one? But it's 3-1 now to Storybird, and they've extended that lead once more.
Yeah, you can't allow that much time on offense to any team that has got through to this stage. You definitely can't allow it to a team that is already punishing you on the offense. And he finds the only gap, it must be said, in that goal that he can score from, and it's a great shot to do so, in all fairness. The defense, though, it needs to be a lot faster if you're going to be saving yourself, really.
So as I'm on the ball, launching it upfield. Dead Monster though, not able to get a touch on that. With 1 minute left, a goal has to be scored by UWE very, very soon. They're 2 goals down. Not much time left. If they want any chance to bring this game on back and getting this lead, they need to do it right about now. But Noah's up. No boost to follow though. Cleared away by Rob. He's in the ball. Castleism not the best of touches. 5 Dead Monster back though. A launch upfield. Castleism has 0 boost. He takes the shot anyway. Barely gets a save from Mug. And there's really not much time now. 30 seconds. They've all go centre once more. No follow-up. Storybird, they're just running down the clock. Just taking as much time as possible. 20 seconds left. It's pretty much over this game, number 1. Storybird are going to take it. Go 1-0 up in the series, and that's a good start for them.
Yeah, they've taken it in quite dominant fashion, I think it's fair to say. They haven't looked like they've struggled too much. We saw the one great passing play coming through from this UWE team. But other than that, they never really looked too threatening on the offense.
Didn't really look too threatening indeed. Storybird, on the other hand, they looked pretty good. There were some slight issues for UWE's defense, which allowed some goals to be scored easier than they should have been. But otherwise, anyway, Storybird done a pretty good job at scoring. And Growly, I have to say, had a great job in the defense. 5 saves to his name. The whole team done pretty well as well. 2 saves for Rob and Mug as well. It was a really good performance from Storybird, and I just hope for their sake they can keep up the rest of the series.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the most dominant defensive performances we've seen from a team in this entire one-shot tournament so far. That being said, I think it's fair to say, no offense to the other teams, but we haven't had so much of a plethora to choose from, really. There haven't been some great defensive displays, it must be said, but Storybird have held their position well, and the rotations haven't even been that great, really. It's just that defensively they're all extremely capable players, and UWE need to find a way around that. The infield pass, the first one they did, worked absolutely unbelievably well, but they need to be making more of those opportunities, because doing it once when you're 3-1 down just isn't the way you need to play.
Not the way you need to play. UWE, not the best first game from what I was hoping from them. Let's see if they can improve it now. We've seen plenty of the teams have already seen today. Improve after that first game, look better than they first looked. And I'm expecting them to do the same. That's an early shot for Dead Monster. Growly though, he's able to find the save. Mug just gets bullied off that spawn there. Bumped away, the ball goes high. That's a shot coming out for Catalysm. Mug finds a save. Dead Monster now. Up to the back wall. Noah's up for it. Can't bang it in. Hit out to the side. Growly. Now 1v1 against Catalysm. He gets it past a good 50. Dead Monster has to take his time in the back. Gets over his teammate. But that's not very good. The Rob can just bang that towards the backboard. Catalysm on the ball. Tries to get it past Mug. The Mug comes in way too fast. Dead Monster, the last man back in defense. Gets the ball away. Launches it upfield to Noah. He can't find the second touch. He has time to take. He's going to take it. Lead the ball for Mug. And that's launched back upfield.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say we saw it earlier. A double commit in the defense from the side of Storybud and no punishment coming from it. Now, that just goes to show how much more dominant this Storybud team is on defense in comparison to UWE's offense. And as I say that, Caster's Curse comes in immediately as the defense just breaks down. Rob Kiernan with a poor pass center. Mug, arguably a bad decision to go and challenge that. It's perfectly up into the center. The better decision there is obviously to rotate back to gold. They know they can't beat out the offense there, and that's a massive risk to take, and it's cost them a goal early on, and now they're going to be chasing in what was already a relatively difficult match.
That's up in front of net. Mug can't finish it off. Growly, low on boost, Catalysm can just launch it up the field past them. Now it's Noah on the ball, into the corner, trying to find a pass, trying to extend for Catalysm. He can't read the touch. That's a shot though, a weak one at that. I need to say for Rob, hit out to the side, and now it's Noah. Upfield, Mug's in the defense. He's able to find the save, but Den Monster, he keeps the pressure on. Cleared away once. Noah catches it though, Den Monster. Can he find a shot? Out to the midfield to Catalysm, that's up high, drop down in front of net. Saved by Mug. Den Monster has to back off. Mug gonna launch it upfield. Rob up for it. He gets the touch. It drops down to Growly. Low on boost, but he can do something with it. He takes it to the backboard. Leads from Mug. That's a shot up high. Still, nothing coming out of the pressure for Storybud, but the pressure's there, and the shots are just a bit too high.
Yeah, and it almost felt like a bit of a wasted opportunity there from Rob. Had the ability to take a shot on target, would have been the better choice out of the two. Opts for the pass instead, but the teammate had already rotated back, having no boost. You need to be aware of where your teammates are at all opportunities. As we see again, Mug passing it around the center of the goal, and it is again a great pass, but just nobody there to follow up. And the predicted pass from Growly, I think it was coming in there, Mug to Growly at least, but just nothing coming from it. And it just seems to be the story of this game so far. Both teams trying and neither team's finding.
Launch that field once more by Mug, and he's just here for Noah, but Growly comes in, can't find a touch on it, and Demon's going to take that upfield himself, find the path to Catalysm, it drops down to him. Rob beats him to it though, and he's in his own touch. He can't find it though. They have to back off. Give UWE some time, but as soon as they get the time, they throw it away, give the ball straight back to Storybud, and none of these teams are using their time well. That's up high. Growly, he drops it down off the backboard. We're all tied up. Storybud, they finally broke through.
Yeah, and this credit to Rob as well. Absolutely chasing Dead Monster straight back into his own net there. Dead then can't get back in time to be in a position to save the ball, and a great shot as well from Growly, like you said, dropping it perfectly underneath the bar. But that was an entire team effort. The pass coming through from Mug, the shot from Growly, and the attempted bump from Rob. And it's team plays like that that win games.
Rob, it's launched upfield. Growly's going to follow. He can't find a touch on it. Noah heads it down to Catalysm, and that'll clear away once more. Mug has to back off though. Not much time. Demons are going to get it over him. He hits it wide. Cleared away. Growly going to try and come in and intercept it, but Catalysm gets it past him. Sucks that ball in the Storybud half, but no one pushing up. Gives him a bit of time, but they not use that time well. The pressure's still right there. Catalysm going to launch it to the backboard. Growly gets a touch on it. Mug's up for it. Can't beat out Noah though. The pressure's still there. UWE, they're getting so close to having a chance for a goal. They're just not getting that last touch they need. They're in their half, and they're in that back line now. They're finally able to get out. As Catalysm going to launch the ball upfield. Low on boost, can't follow up. Cleared away, 40 seconds left, one apiece. And overtime is looking likely at the moment.
Yeah, the boost management from this UWE team isn't always the greatest. They seem to be starved a lot when they're in their own half, but the minute they push out, they're taking every boost pad available, and that is one of the big differences and one of the main reasons really why Storybud can't keep an attack going for too long. The minute they push up too far, they're completely out of the play like they are now, but a good block there from Mug stops that play developing, and that's crucial, and a good bump as well, and it leads to the goal. Unbelievable play on the final seconds right there. It didn't look like they had any momentum in this match, and then a phenomenal pass to Growly upfield And that is how you tear a team apart and Storybud take the unlikely lead.
Growly, what a bump and what a finish to go with it. That wins Storybud the game. They don't go to overtime. They go 2 up in the series. They're on match point now going into game number 3, and what a way to win it was.
Yeah, that decision making there from Growly to continue pushing up, even though you know if the counter-attack happens there, it's almost a guaranteed goal. Trusting his teammate to get that pass up, and that was just unbelievable. Rob Keenan with a vision, it's fair to say, to make that pass up to Growly as well. There was no greed from him at all. There was no opportunity for him to go for the solo play, so he doesn't even try it. The pass up, absolutely sublime. Finding his target, pinpoint perfection. And that's just absolutely torn UWE apart. And that's going to put a damper on UWE's team at the moment because they looked like they had that game. It looked like it was theirs.
But they threw it away at the last second, and Storybud, a great clutch, especially from Growly. That was an excellent bump, an excellent goal to go with it. They clutched out that game number 2, and I was certain overtime was coming, but never mind. Game number 3, no overtime needed. Storybud are 2 up in the series.
Yeah, and Storybud really do have all the momentum, not just in terms of game wins at the moment, but in terms of mentality, because going from 1-0 up, looking like you've got the lead and you're going to take it, even if an overtime comes, you still look like you're the favourites in that match, to going 2-1 down with a second left, that's hard to come back from.
Rob is on the ball, taking it out of field. Noah comes in, gets a touch on it, but it's launched up by Catalysm. Growly has to back off and take it back to his own half. Trying to get it over Noah though, going for the 50 in there, goes out to the sidewall instead. Mugs up for it though, beats out Dead Monster, keeps that pressure on. Now it's Rob, he's up, he can't find the second of the backboard, almost does. But Growly backs off, launches it back upfield, and just continues that starting pressure from Storybud.
Yeah, and Growly spending a long time in UWE's half of the field there. He was willing and prepared to just take all the boosts they had. He did not care at all that play was not over there. He was willing to risk it in case the ball came back up for an offense. And although it didn't, it's that kind of risk that no teams have been taking. And there we see Growly coming up for a great shot. Rob getting a fantastic 50 with Dead, popping up perfectly to Growly in the center. And Growly has the entire goal to aim for and copious amounts of time to aim at it. And with that amount of time, that amount of space, and that little pressure, you're always going to find the target if you're a player like Growly.
To the side, it drops down in front of net. Growly trying to stand on the lead, takes control of it, tries to get it over Catalysm. A flick Mug comes in to help, but instead the ball just gets launched away. Rob has time to take it though in the back, gets the pass one, lands to Noah though, takes it up the sidewall. They try and find a pass down off the ceiling. Go for a shot maybe instead to the top corner, just goes wide. Growly trying to take this away, but the pressure's still there. Dead Monster a good 50. Catalysm can't find the best of touches. It does go up for Noah though. He's able to get a touch on it, but does do anything with it. Mug has time now. Dead Monster comes in, gets it past him. Rob going to launch it upfield to the backboard. Can he follow up? He cannot. Noah's able to clear the ball away. Mug though, straight back towards the net. Just a game of ping pong at the moment, back and forth constantly. No one finding a pass, just a launch up the field. Noah going to launch it back, and Rob's going to be straight there with a return.
Yeah, it very much feels like each player is actually playing volleyball at this point in time. It is just whacking it up to the top of the field and hoping the opposition makes a miss on the backboard like was done there. But the defense just too strong from both teams, and it's just not going to break down teams like this. We've seen these kind of plays attempted before, and at high levels like this, they just don't come through more often than not. You have to make those backboard plays when you're closer to the opposition side like that, because that breaks down a team. Dead Monster with the first real chance to get a good pass over, and the miss from Growly off of the back wall, and Catalysm is there immediately to punish it. And we were just saying a second ago that it requires a miss from the backboard to be useful at all, and the miss happens. It's very rare that these players are missing anything at the moment, but the one time they do, and it's a one time a goal is scored.
He gets the ball centre for a shot for Growley. He's hitting it wide, but the pressure straight back on. Rob, he hits it wide. Catalan trying to go for the clear away, trying to find the pass to Noah. Growley a good 50 in the midfield. Mug comes in though, launches that pass one. Into the corner, Dead Monster's there. He can't get a touch on it, it has to lie to Noah. Growley now, on the ball, can't find a touch off that side. Well, that could be dangerous. The ball goes high from Noah's touch, but Rob's there. Straight up to the backboard. Saved by Catalysm. Going to be cleared away. 2 minutes left of this game, or one apiece at the moment. Plenty of time for a goal to be scored by either team. And Noah, he looks to do it, and he takes it upfield. Can't find anything for it. Now it's Dead Monster on the ball. The quick turn of attack coming out, Storybud. They got shut down, and UWA went straight on for the counter. And now it's Noah in the back, trying to control the ball. Catalysm flipping all over the place. They're luckily able to control it, but not for long as Rob does come straight in. And they try and follow up, low on boost, gets a touch, but nothing else to follow up. Dead Monster, he's able to clear away, but it's still going to be difficult as Mug comes in, gets the pass to Growley. That's a launch to the backboard. Dead Monster takes control and gets it away for a little but even space.
Yeah, and that's an attempted redirect by Rob, and it's good that they stayed on attack for so long, because at this point, when you're equal, when you're just 1-1, it's usually the team that is putting on the most amount of pressure that ends up coming out with that second goal. And that's not to say they're the team that end up winning, but it's definitely more beneficial in this current state for this Storybud team to continue to go for the amount of pressure, because a drop down like that and an attempted follow-up shot by Mug, a squishy save attempt, but these are the kind of plays you expect to see. These are what you need to see from a team like this.
Saved by Noah. Rob still there, keeps the pressure on. He launches it high once more. Head out to the side. Growley the pass out mid. Noah takes control, gets it away, and alleviates that pressure for just a moment. And Mug straight back in there. Puts that pressure straight back on. Dead Monster catches it, gets out past Growley. Noah has to rush back. Mug in the back line. Takes control. 15 seconds left. And overtime looking likely. But I said that last time in Storybud were able to score a goal in the last second. Could we see something similar? Mug's up. He takes a shot. Saved by Dead Monster, but Rob straight there for a return once more. The ball goes high. The shot comes out from Growley. That could be in. And they've done it again. The 0-second mark. A goal has been scored by a Storybud. They take the series. They don't have to go to overtime to do it. That's a 3-0 win.
Yeah, that's just left me a little bit speechless, because Storybud, credit to them, 2 times it looked like it was going to overtime, and twice they didn't look like the stronger team towards the end, but they still held out right at the moment when it mattered. But UWE have to take a bit of the blame there. You can't be that lackluster in defense when you have no time left. You have to just let it go down. You cannot afford to be messing about with the ball in your own area. And I think it's fair to say both of us are probably quite surprised that that's a 3-0 sweep. I definitely expected the game to be closer. I know I said Storybud would win, but at the same time, I thought UWE could win. I thought they'd provide something to the table. But Storybud there just didn't ever really look like faltering, especially in the crucial moments.
Good win from Storybud. They will be facing off against the winner of With My Boys, the Coke and Pan. We've seen Coke and Pan earlier, and they had a good performance for the Elite squad, but With My Boys is going to be a hard team to face. We do have our next match, which will be the Modu Battle for A-Reality. We are going to go to a quick break to get things sorted. Will not be long. We'll see you soon. Welcome back once again with a great series last time around there. Storybud, UWE Bolton, our Storybud. They were able to clutch it out several times round, get themselves a spot in the semi-final. As we said, they will face nothing either with my boys or Coke and Pan. That will be happening off stream, but on stream we do have a Moldy Bar versus A Reality. Still joined by Kelsink, and these are some good rosters right here.
Yeah, this is, I think, in my opinion, probably going to be one of the closest ones we see of the day. Obviously, Moldy Bath fielding Shots, Cow, and Gooch, and then Aeriality fielding Cash, Boy School Q, and Ty Lacto. Now, this is a team that both of these teams, in fact, are not going to allow the same sort of defensive errors and slip-ups that we've seen teams make in the past. Ty Lacto is probably one of the best defenders there is, just period. Now, when it comes to trying to play backboard, trying to play infield, you just can't do that if Ty Lacto is there ready. That is something that Moldy Bath will know going into this game. They're going to be prepared for that. I can imagine we're going to see quite a lot of bumps and demos coming out in this game, in this series, because that is what they're going to have to do to remove that ability to defend as well as these guys are capable of doing. Because if we don't do that, it's going to be extremely low scoring games. We're going to see 0-0s, we're going to see overtimes. So these guys are probably going to change up their playstyle a little bit from what they normally play. But this is going to be some high level Rocket League. This Aeriality team so far has swept every team they've come across. Every single one they've played, they have just swept them. That was in round 2, round 3, and the quarterfinals. They've not had a problem so far. But this Moldy Bath, this is a completely different ballpark.
A different ballpark indeed, but to go on the other side of this, we were talking about how good the Reality side are with Ty Lacto, Cash, and Boy School. Cash as well, quickly going through his... He was in RLS last season. He's a great striker. Boy School Q, also a good striker, a good upfield player. But looking at the Moldy Bath side, Gooch, and I always say this, almost every tournament I cast with Gooch in it, I always say the same thing about him. I don't understand why he subs. He's such a good player. He puts himself in that sub role though, when he has so much more opportunities he could take. He was on the way them girls as a sub last season around, and when he had to sub in for tournaments before RLS came round, he performed well. He performs well in other tournaments. He's a great player, but he just seems to rather take the easy road out, go for that sub spot, just kind of relax. When I think if we seen him make a proper good push with a good team, he could go very, very far. So I'm excited to see Gooch in this tournament. And I'm excited to see also Shots and Cal, also excellent players. I think we've talked about them enough and not the game. So let's get these players in. It's a best of 5 for the semi-finals, and I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Like you point out the fact that Gooch is a sub. Yeah, it does almost feel like he's taking a little bit of the way out there. He knows he's capable of being higher, but the pressure that comes with not being the sub is unbelievable. Because when you're the sub, people almost expect the errors. They almost expect you to be that little bit worse than the starting roster. But the fact that Gooch is just not is scary.
Oh, and that was a scary shot coming out from Cash. Speaking of scary, that's off the crossbar now. Luckily, for the Moldy Bath side, that was a powerful one, but not going in for the opening shot of the game. But already in Reality are showing a good bit of pressure. Ty Lacto going in, couldn't get a touch on it, leaves it for Cash. Cash gets a touch, trying to find Ty Lacto. Gooch gets it away up to Boy School Q. He's able to clear it away, but straight into shots. He's vibing, but he's not getting a touch on the ball in that instance. The Boy School Q gets it past one. Cash comes in, tries to get it past Cal, putting that early pressure on the Moldy Bath side, and they're already stuck in the back line.
Yeah, what we're seeing early here, this is high-level Rocket League right now. This is two teams that are not going to allow the ball to stay in their area for too long. The minute it does, they'll get a massive clear on it, and they will be happy to reset play and just carry on from where they left off. We're not going to see many double commits. We're not going to see probably any triple commits, I think it's fair to say. The comms that these guys will be going through will be unbelievable. And there's the first real demo that gets a good opportunity, and it actually comes from Ty Lacto. We saw him honing in on players earlier in the game already, where we normally see him on the backboard defending like a boss. This time we're seeing him taking out the entire team. He's not going to be baited into that jump early as well, so no demo is going to come onto him.
idea from Cal, but it wasn't executed well enough. Cash comes in for a shot of his own. Cal able to find the save. He's able to get a touch on Kailacto's shot. And Boysko an unwanted touch. You're going to take that ball straight to his own net. Gooch comes in, hit the dunk on Cash, couldn't do it. Cal drops it down the shot. And he couldn't find the shot right there. Boysko plenty of time now to take it away off the ceiling. Going to try and pinch it with Kailacto. Couldn't find it. It's hit out to the side. Cash is able to come in time, hit that away to the corner, and put some pressure on of his own.
Yeah, and both of these teams, they are just challenging each other in the air at the moment. For the most part, the matches that we've seen so far, it's been a lot of 50s on the ground. We've seen a lot of ground play. This time, the ball's barely spending any time down there at all. These guys are so confident and so competent with their mechanics. They don't need to play simple Rocket League. This is going to be the highest level we see. And at the moment, neither team really having too many challenges because both are rotating so perfectly that the opportunities are just there. But Tylacto had an open goal to aim at there and puts it just over the crossbar. And that is going to be the best opportunity Aeriality are likely to get this entire game. And as I say that, the first double commit comes out, and that's what can be costly in matches like this.
Let's go. Kuri launches the ball up for you to alleviate some pressure for the time being. Give Tylacto a time to get up there. Cash is going to try and follow up himself. Gets a touch on it. It drops down to shots. Boysko comes in. Gets it to the midfield, but Cal had plenty of time to take that upfield himself. So against Tylacto. He finds a pass to shots. That's a shot on target. That's a goal for Moldy Bath. They take the lead in game number 1.
Yeah, and this turn from Tylacto, arguably not the best decision to make. Not sure if he thought he had a teammate there in the defense, but you'd guess that he probably knew he didn't. The comms are likely to be pretty good from these guys, so the decision making there a little bit questionable, but these guys are high enough levels that they know what they're doing, so chances are he probably felt like it was the best option to deal with, knowing full well the opportunity to be demoed is there if he remains on the ground, but unfortunately doesn't pay off from this time. 1-0, and Aeriality go down a goal late on in this game.
Oh, Cash off the ceiling, couldn't find the equalizer right there, but it was a close attempt and a good idea at that. Boysko up for it for a shot of his own, hitting it high to the backboard. Shots, he's not able to get a touch on it, but it's not on target anyway. Tylacto going to come in, launches it high to the backboard once more. Tried to go for a bump, couldn't find anything. The shot from Boysko getting saved by Cal. Cash comes in, keeps the pressure on still, but no goal yet to be found. Gooch going to have some time to get that away. Boysko going to try and return it, but it lands straight to Cal. The net left wide open. Cash makes it back just in time, but there's not much time left. Boysko going to take it up. No boost to do so, but Cal, not the best 50. It lands to Tylacto, and Steve himself finds the equalizer.
Yeah, and this follow-up from Tylacto. Tylacto even contemplated, and you can see it in his car movement, taking the ball off of Boysko, and that is where you can see the comms happening on field. Boysko clearly calling that he's got no boost, picks up the 24 boost pad, and at that point in time, picking up those 2 boost pads is just so imperative to keep the play alive, and the speed at which he does so, and the speed at which Tylacto backs out of the play and keeps himself available for that second follow-up is just great. That decision-making is really what sets apart the pros from the non.
Puts it up for it, drops it down to Gooch. Gooch can get a touch on it, no he can't, get cleared away once more. Cal has time at the back line, launching that ball back upfield, 10 seconds left. They're looking to avoid an overtime, but it's getting cleared away once more. Very few mistakes are being made this series, but that's a great pinch away from Tylacto. It can't find the back of the net, gonna hit the ground, but there's still time left. Gooch gets the ball away once more. Cash can't keep it up himself, and that's still dangerous. Cal can't find a second touch. We go to overtime, and it's 1 apiece. Game number 1, Moldy Bath Aeriality. We get our first overtime, and this is the closest I think Aeriality have been to dropping a game in a series, and this could be it right here. But Cash says no, he's up. Boysko's up. He finds the goal, an early win in the overtime for Aeriality, 2-1, and they take it.
Yeah, and you know that Moldy Bath are going to be feeling a little bit disheartened there. Although they played a fantastic first game, Shotsbin not able to get the clear there, and that was a crucial moment to need to clear the ball. Can't get it high enough, instead drops it straight into the path of Aeriality, and no question in anybody's mind that Boysko is going to finish that one off. Does so in a fantastic manner, and it's just easy for a player like him. Cashmaster with a great pass but that all came off of the back of a single defensive error, and that really is going to be the decisive factor in most of these games. It's either going to be some incredible passing plays that we're going to see coming off, or the odd, very, very odd defensive mistake that we saw. We saw it from Aeriality earlier in the game. That credited Moldy Bath for a goal. We saw Tylacto turn a little bit too soon, being a little bit impatient, but later on in the game, all of the Aeriality team able to hold their nerves.
They're doing a good job there. Moldy Bath, they got there, the goal. It wasn't enough Aeriality. That was a great shot in the overtime there. A quick shot to come out. They found the goal. They take the win in game number 1. They're 1-0 up in series. They keep their streak alive. I'm not dropping a single game. And they're 1-0 up.
Yeah, never a doubt in anybody's mind that this game was going to be close. We actually said at the start it was likely to go to an overtime. And in the very first match, that's exactly the way it goes. I wouldn't be surprised if there are more of them as Tylacto tries to get it center. But that is what the story has written. These passes coming through, they're high, they're far, they're difficult to read for both teams. And that is what makes this so interesting to watch.
Can't get it past Gooch. Launched upfield by Cash. He's off the backboard. Can't follow up. Tylacto now into the corner. Cal can't find anything. Boys Goku just going to have plenty of time to come in there. But he's hitting that nowhere near the net. Cash does have some time to come back in. Cal gets it past him though. And Boys Goku, you need to be shooting better on target there if you want to make that any kind of a play.
Yeah, neither team are starting off that strong at the moment. They've both had opportunities to keep play alive, and no one's really taking it. The ball's just going backwards and forwards between both sides of the field. No one utilizing the other players in their team. The ball just seems to be hit up into places that is easy to cut out for both teams and slow to make recoveries from.
Q gets a touch over one, up to the back wall, trying to find a bump. That's the shot. Too weak and off target. Not going to find the back of the net. Cash misses the corner boost. Can't do much with that. Now it's Gooch on the ball. Taking that upfield himself. Boys go Q pushes out. Can't find anything. Tylacto gets a save. Boys go Q up for the save once more. Cal now with the shot. Saved by Cash. And now it's Gooch on the ball. Taking it high. Shot after shot after shot. And save after save after save. That's another opportunity for Cal. A good 50. A shot from shots. Saved by Tylacto. Hit out to the side by Cal, up to Gooch, and Cal going to try and follow. Gets the pass one. Boys go Q is able to recover with it, get the touch away, and now it's Cash trying to go for the counter attack if you do, and alleviate that pressure for just a moment after so many saves been found for Aeriality.
Yeah, and like you say, alleviating the pressure, he's done well, but Cal almost putting it in his own goal there, but manages to get the recovery. Didn't look like he'd be able to, but going back to the way these guys are playing at the moment, Aeriality on defense don't even look like they're having any problems. But the first moment of aggression from Aeriality, and Moldy Bath almost collapse immediately under a single instance of needed defend.
Ooh, Cal got that out in time. I did not know. That was an insanely fast recovery. And that was great from him. He made up for the mistakes that he made, and it's now Moldy Bath on the attack. Gets shot down by Boys Goku though. He's going for one himself. Gets backed out by Gooch. Gets the pass to Cash though. The ball goes high. Tylacto's up for it. A soft touch though. Easily taken away by Gooch. Cash. Got some time. They try and follow up. Gets the pass Gooch. Up to Cal though. He's going to launch it away. Cash has to leave it for a teammate. It's up high for Boys Goku. Tylacto's there waiting. Has to back off. Hit out to the side. Shots can't do anything with it though. And Tylacto now on the ball. Into the corner. Gets a touch. Gets a bump as well. It's a shot. It goes wide. We're still 0-0. Very reminiscent of that game number 1. Both teams, they're striking. But the other team is saving just as well.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much flair coming out from either team at the moment. They're just playing simple Rocket League. But at this point, simple Rocket League is what is going to force an error from one of the teams. We almost saw it from Cal earlier. It wasn't a great shot, but almost putting it into his own net. And those kind of plays is what's going to wreck it. And it goes straight across goal and no one's there to follow up. And you need to be following in those positions. But arguably the better and right choice to make by both teams not to rush the ball. That's why it's 0-0. Neither one are willing to take any risks at the moment.
Any rest. They're just going for some good plays. They're not good enough at the moment. Nothing can get past both of these teams' defenses. And well, they're standing strong. Game number 2. Shots has to back off though. Not in the best position. Boys School could get it past him. That's going to slip in. Shots. He doesn't have in a terrible position there. And he's been taken fully advantage of by Boys School.
Yeah, I've got to question the decision making from Shots here. I have no idea why he opted to half flip there and go back towards goal. I understand that in those sorts of positions, you really should be shadow defending. But as I'm talking, an early kickoff goal, great kickoff from Boys School, better follow from Tylacto, dodging the bump and getting it just past Shots. But again, the decision-making from Shots has led to that second goal. Could definitely have jumped closer to the goal then, had the opportunity to save it. But coming back to that first goal, Shots just doesn't need to be half-flipping there. He just needs to be getting to that head-on and taking the play away from this team. You can't give that much time to Aeriality and not expect them to score from it.
A touch in the corner, Tylacto up to follow. Off the corner, it goes high. Can they follow up? No, they can't. But they don't need to. They're 2 goals up, 30 seconds left. Shots is the one who has to try and make the play at the moment. He hits it high. Cal can't follow. Drops down to Boys School. He's launching that upfield. Gooch on the goal line. There's really not much time now. 20 seconds left. 2 goals needed. We've seen how the series went so far. They're not going to get that many goals in this amount of time. But they're going to make the effort to. In a last-ditch effort. Shots had an opportunity. He can't get it past Tylacto though. The great defense we were talking about. Showing right there. Tylacto finds the save. Cash gets that away. 5 seconds left in game number 2. Aeriality are going to take it. 2 up in the series. And they are looking great at the moment.
Yeah, they really are. And I know I said it at the start. Tylacto is just one of those players, I've got to admit, out of all the RLCS players, RLRS players that I've seen, don't get me wrong, there are some absolutely fantastic defenders out there. Absolutely crucial ones. Some that are obviously that little bit better than Tylacto. But Tylacto, at the kind of level he plays at this kind of RLRS, RLCS level, he is one of the best, and that is saying something. So putting him up against teams like this, he's making decisions in defense that you just don't see in tournaments like this. He is beating out even the top players. Gooch, we mentioned it before, how good a player he is. He only plays as a sub, but he's capable of playing that one level further. Even he, at the moment, just cannot find a way around Tylacto. Nobody is managing to do it from this team. And it is absolutely destroying this team.
Destroying the team, Aeriality. Still yet to drop a game. And will they put themselves in a great position to still and not drop a game this whole tournament. They're 2 up in the series. Match point right now. We're having to remake the server due to server maintenance. As per usual with Rocket League, we'll be back in very, very shortly, but Aeriality. No one seems to be able to stop them at the moment.
Yeah, nobody do indeed. If you're only just tuning into this and you didn't hear what we said earlier, they have so far swept every team they've come across. Now, that's not just to say, oh, they've only played 1 team or they've only played 2. 3 teams at the moment they've swept, and this is currently on for their 4th sweep in this tournament. They're not playing low-level teams here, guys. They are playing some of the best teams this tournament has to offer. But the fact of the matter is, at the moment, they are the best team this tournament has to offer.
On that field, Cal take control of that heavy touch. Gonna be risky. Boys School Q comes in. Gooch is able to take control of it. Gets it past Cash. And Tylacto, not the best of touches there. But luckily Boys School Q is able to come in, deal with that. And then it's Cal. Drops it down. Boys School just hits it high. No boost to follow though. It's a shot from Shot. Saved by Tylacto out to the side. He can't get the second touch though. It's a demo on the goalkeeper. That's a goal for the Moldy Bath. And demo there. That was so crucial.
Yeah, and I know we say that, you know, we call these things often enough, but the start of this match, right before it, we said, how is this Moldy Bath team going to break down Aeriality? And the one thing we said is that they have to remove that 3rd man from the defense, because without removing that player, you're not getting it past this defensive Aeriality. And the minute they do it, it just proves that these things work. They're not just little tactics to irritate the team. These really work. If you were quick enough to follow up those plays like Moldy Bath just showed, then you really can break down even the best defenses in the game.
Up high. Cal sorry tries to fall. That's a good shot from Cash. Saved by Shots. It's a bit too weak, but Talato comes in for the shot of his own. Saved by Gooch. And now we're seeing Moldy Bath. They're showing a good example of how good their defense is. Boy School leaves that ball. Cash goes in, can't find a touch on it. Boy School has to back off. Takes a touch, gets it over Shots. Can't get it past Cal though. But Talato's there, launching that straight back upfield. They're 1 goal down at the moment. But it happens same in game number 1. They were able to get a quick return and end up winning the game as well. So it's never too late. And Cash with the shot, it just goes wide. Boy School now, into the corner. Shots backing off. Just taking his time. Boy School comes in, can't do anything with it. And Cash is trying to force his way past. They're able to get past one, but not get past Cal. Then Moldy Bath. They're stuck in their own half at the moment. Stuck in the defensive line of the outer, putting all the pressure on they can.
Yeah, Cash missed with a miss there, but allows Talato to follow, and that really is summing up this game. Anytime a player misses, there's always the second man close enough behind that they can get past the defense, get through as an offense, and it just is picking apart these two teams. But still, 1 goal separating these guys, and it still feels like it's anybody's game at this point in time. Neither one looking the stronger. They are both just trading shots at this point.
Run from Talato, not able to follow up. Cal has to leave the ball, and Boy School comes in, gets it past one. He's up himself, gets it off the roof. Cal able to make the save. Talato's there, not able to get a touch, backs off. Just hits it into his own corner, and Cash with a perfect spawning right there. Able to land right in front of the ball, get a touch of his own, but now it's Boy School. Stuck in his own half, leaves it for Cash to come in, get that ball upfield, into the corner, pinch it around. Shots, tries to get a touch on it, couldn't find it. But it just rolls past the enemy into the corner. I need to clear away from Cal, but Boy School comes straight back in. Keeping that pressure on, but Arialti are still trailing by 1.
Yeah, and the pass needs to come down here, and a good one, and it does to Boy School. And this kind of gameplay is what they've been going for the whole time. Those small passes, those slight touches that seem so simple to make, but are so difficult to execute perfectly. And both teams are doing it. It's just that it's not working. But a misplay on defense there. Should have got the ball. Cal trips up on the side post initially, and then again misses the jump, and it's an easy goal. Both Talato and Cash there, both to score. The double commit doesn't matter. It's an easy goal, and the game is equalized again.
That's the worst way to concede there for Moldy Bath. That was just a complete utter miss in the defense, which allowed that shot from Talato to be able to slip in. And now it's all tied up. They had that lead, but it's all been thrown away. And overtime could be possible. And last time around, it went in favour of Arialti. 1 minute left still, though. And Arialti are straight on the attack once again. They just want to win straight out. In Boy School, they try and touch it. Up to Cash. Cash to Talato, and Talato can't follow up with that. Gooch off his side. Well, not the best touches. Cash it up. It's off the backboard. That's a drop down. That's a second goal for Arialti. And they've got the lead just as quick as that.
Yeah, that play from Cash right there, the read, the jump, everything about it was just absolutely sublime. Even the initial pass in was sublime as well. And that is what we like to see. It's worth noting that in every single one, or in almost every single one of Ariality's matches so far, they have actually dropped a goal. Although they haven't dropped a game, you can see how critical these guys are at playing, and they almost get a third when they look like they were going to lose this game, and you just don't see where this is coming from. They are just that capable.
There's still 30 seconds left, but not much time as the Moldy Bath side. They're having to retreat back to their own half. Talato gets a good touch, just shutting down that play for just a moment. Cal going up, a good 50. The ball goes centre. Shots gets a touch on it. Cash is there, hits it high. A demo on Gooch, eliminating a player from the play. Cal though, he gets it high. Talato gets a touch, trying to follow it up. Gooch is on the ground, just waiting for it to come to him. But the ball goes past him. Unless Cal can keep this up, it's going to be it. That's a serious Arial to take it 3-2-0. They head off to the finals now. They are still yet to drop a game.
Yeah, this is an incredible run. This is absolutely insane from Ariality. To sweep the first team is good enough. To sweep the second is quite impressive. To sweep the quarterfinalist is just unreal. To pull off that performance, but then to sweep The team we thought would give them one of the best challenges in this entire tournament is just completely unexpected. They've blown every single expectation of them out of the water. We already knew how good these guys were. It's not as if it's a surprise that they're capable of doing this. What is a surprise is that they're capable of doing this against a team that has the lineup of Gooch, Cow, and Shots. That's what's surprising about it.
So good for Reality. They will be heading off to the finals, and in a surprise result, to be totally honest, they'll be facing off against either Kokenpan or Storybud, as Kokenpan were able to take down the probably favourites of this tournament with my boys in a 3-2. The Kokenpan v Storybud. The winner of that will be facing off against Reality in the finals. We're going to go for a break while we wait for that match to finish. We'll be back very, very soon for a very, very exciting finals. And it's all come down to this. The finals of the Rocket Kingdom one-shot cup. Number 1, the very first one. Who will be our first champion? We have Aeriality and Story Bud. We're joined by Killswitch still, as per usual, and obviously we've got Crafters on the production.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. We've seen both of these teams play, and I think if there were ever two teams destined to face off against each other in the finals, it was always going to be these guys. Aeriality with their absolutely phenomenal run through this tournament. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Every single game that they have played, they have swept. Now that is just something incredible. Storybud having a little bit of a rougher patch through their rounds. Round 3 only winning out 3-2, and then against Kokenpan only winning out 3-1. But Kokenpan again beating out the favorites of the tournament altogether, which was with my boys. They're teaming with Sebadam. I can't remember who the last one was. I think it was Faco and Econ, if I'm not mistaken. And just being able to beat out those from Kokenpan was incredible. Storybud then beating them. We didn't get a chance to see it, but the fact they managed it after 3-0 sweeping UWE was unbelievable. So now this is the game we have all been waiting for.
Aeriality, we've seen them already. We talked about it last series. They've came through this whole bracket. They have not dropped a single game. They swept their first match against Sauce. They swept their second match against Super Mode. They swept their third match against Keen had a dead trim. They swept their fourth match against Moldy Bath, and now they're here in the finals. Nobody have been even close to taking them down yet. Every single season taken with ease for the Reality. Will Storybud be any different? Will they be able to finally challenge this team? Storybud have had a good run, and this is definitely going to be their toughest opponent yet.
100%. So without further ado, Storybud facing off against Aeriality for the first victory of the one-shot tournament.
Yeah, they start now. Growly on the dribble. That's a shot. Saved by Cass. Drops down to Tylacto, and they're going to launch the ball upfield. Rob can't find it. Tylacto has free reign over the ball. He's just going to go for the shot. Saved by Mug. Boyskill Q's there. A shot for him. Mug hits out to the side after the save from Growly. And that opportunity handled very, very well from the Storybud side.
Handled well, but at the same time, you can already see some cracks developing on their defense. They've got a lot of double commits coming through, and that is really not something they can afford to make numerous amounts of times throughout this match. They'll find their boost very limited. They'll find themselves getting boost starved a lot, especially if they cannot get away from this absolutely relentless offense that is Aeriality.
He gets it past one, he hits it high. Boyskill goes for the demo, and Mug can't find it, and Mug gets up to the air. That's the pass out to the side from Tylacto. No one able to find it. Mug going to try and launch it off field leader for Rob instead, and he's able to get that pass. Boyskill now off that bat wall, just waiting for the touch to come to him. Growly gets the shot, gets the pass. Boyskill, but up to Boyskill it comes from Cash. Up to the bat wall, trying to get some pressure on. Rob, a good 50. Lands the Cash once more, trying to get it centre. Drops down to Tylacto. Now it's head opportunity. Find the pass to Boyskill. It's up high. Dropping down in front of net. Cash can't find the bump on Mug. An opportunity was so close, but just shut down once again by Storybud. They're getting stuck in the defense, but they're dealing with it well at the moment.
Yeah, dealing with it very well. But like you say, they really are stuck in this defense. This Aeriality team do not want to allow the opportunity for Storybud to develop any sort of play to get it out of their area. The minute they do, as we just saw there, the bump plays come through and they immediately take it straight back. This pressure is just continuous. It does not stop. Tylacto trying to get some sort of play to develop, and this might be one of the first times we see a good offense coming through, and that's a misplay from Cashmeister there, opting to go for the boost pad. The boost over ball situation that we see time and time again. Doesn't pick it up, doesn't matter. Mug had an open goal to shoot from, and that is a massive slip up from Aeriality and something we haven't seen from them all tournament so far.
Blindsided by the boost, he goes out of position, and that's a goal for Storybud, the first one of the game. Mug trying to take it away right now. Cash gets a touch past Mug. Rowley trying to get it away, but Cash gets the pressure on him to make up for his previous mistakes. Tylato's up now, hits that centre. Mug's in net, the boy goes up. Mug gets a touch up high, but it's still dangerous. It's a shot to the backboard once more. Tylato now, he can do it. The man can strike. The ex-rival serious player, he ties up game number 1 off the backboard with a great shot.
Yeah, that was an absolutely sublime shot right there. Using the wheel of his cars just to slow down the ball enough to creep it under that crossbar. It didn't look like he was going to go for it at first, and I think that's what baited out the defense there. It looked like he was going to go for a touch off of the backboard, but a second goal and an immediate response right there from Aeriality. Great kickoff there. Tylato missing the ball. Doesn't matter. Mug caught on the sidewall, and Cashmeister, easy goal for him, but 2-1, and the response comes 5 seconds apart.
They've done it again. They have that. They were down by 1 goal. They enter the tie up, and then they're right back at it, taking the lead. They're so quick at just turning the game around. And we've seen it time and time again this whole tournament. Is that last year's even as a whole? I think they were down a few times, and then they were able to come and take the win very, very quickly, taking the lead. And they've done it once again. 2-1 now in the favour of Aeriality. They're still on the attack. They can't win a touch on that. Tylato's going to leave it for Cash, take back upfield. And they're doing such a good job with pressure at the moment. That's a great 50 from Cash. Tylato's up for it, can't follow up. Heads to the side to Growley, and it's his chance to take it away. Gets it to 1. Now it's Rob on the ball. Gets the dribble. Can't beat out Cash though. Cash able to read their bounce, and he takes it up the ceiling. Dropping down. Mug's there. He can't get a touch on it too early. He's able to take it off the back wall. Goes to Boy Skill Q, and the pressure, it's still there. Tylato straight up for it. Cleared away to Growley with the dribble. Gets it past 1. That must be a goal. And it is. Storyball decoys.
Yeah, and this is just a lack of awareness from Cashmeister here. Doesn't need to make that turn immediately. Can easily shadow. Doesn't realize Growley had 0 boost for that play. But you don't need boost when your players are just going to chase the ball that much. The absolute epitome of monkeying, and unfortunately for this Aeriality team, as well as they've played so far, Cashmeister's chase there has just cost them a second goal immediately, and it'll be interesting to see if Aeriality have a response to this one.
Let's see if Cash is on the ball, takes it into the corner. Mug gets a touch away, but Boyskill has plenty of time to take it off the sidewall. Gets it past 1. Cash off the ceiling, can he find the touch almost? But Tylato's out of strike. It's off the crossbar though. That should have been a goal. And Storybuds, they hang on by the skin of their teeth. But that's another shot, and that's another goal. Cash makes it 3-2 now to Reality, and the strikes are coming out, and they're coming out well.
Yeah, and the pass from Boy School there, absolutely sublime. Phenomenal pass off into the corner, and Cashmeister reads it so beautifully. We know how capable he is at putting those into the upper echelons of the goal, and he does so with pure ease. Tylato missing the earlier shot. We commented on it. It's unlike him, very uncharacteristic, but nevertheless, Cashmeister is known for his goal scoring opportunities. Tylato for the defensive plays. So it's unsurprising that it's Cashmeister coming in to save the day there.
To the side, Boy School Q now in the ball. Gets it past 1. Mug the last man back, and a pinch that all upfield. Cash gets a touch, but not the best of 1. Lands straight to Growley. Either try and drop it down to Mug. He can't make it in time though. It lands to Boy School. Out to Rob. And out towards the net once more. Growley waits for the ball to come to him. A bump attempt in the goal. Nothing found. Boy School gets the pass. That's a goal. They put all the eggs in one basket, and the basket's broken itself. 4-2 to Reality. That's going to be the game. Storybud put their all into that last attack, but it just did not work out for them.
Yeah, you just can't do that. I understand the overcommit was necessary to a point. They had 20 seconds left. They didn't deem it feasible that they would be able to score past this Aeriality team, but you cannot risk putting all of your players upfield that far, because you will get straight shut down by the defense that is Aeriality. They're not making any mistakes today, and in the first game of this series, they take it comfortably, 4-2.
Didn't hit it comfortably, but it was a very, very close first game until the end there. And that last goal, I'm not going to give Storybud too much of a hassle for there. It was really their last chance play. It didn't work out. They knew if they missed it, would get scored on, and unfortunately, they couldn't make it work. But in reality, they take game number 1, 4-2. A close game 1. Storybud, they're looking good, but they need to look a lot better if they want to take down the reality.
Yeah, they really, really need to play a lot better here. They started off so well. They started off so consistently, but then progressively through the game, they allowed Reality the chances that they weren't allowing them at the start. We see a total of 15 shots come in the way of Reality and only 3 from Storybud. You cannot allow those kind of statistics. If you're only taking 3 shots a game against a team like Reality, who are known for their defense, you are not going to win games. I'm sorry, but you have to pressure more. It really isn't a difficult concept to grasp. But at the moment, Storybud, no matter how difficult a concept it is to grasp, they're just not getting it past this Reality team.
Getting past the Reality team, and I don't think anyone's really been able to get past the Reality team at a substantial amount of cash. Already going for a shot, be going off the backboard. That's a pass to Boysko. The net left wide open. And within 6 seconds, a goal's already found for the Reality. It's Cash. He just takes full control, gets the pass to and Boysko's there to finish.
Yeah, we can't even call that a kickoff goal just because, although it's only 6 seconds in, that is a beautiful passing play right there. Not the kind of thing you expect to see 6 seconds in. That's really when your defense should be sharpish. You've only just started the game, but you cannot allow Cashmeister to pass it in to Boysko that easily from that angle, because you will just get shut down.
Alright, so up to Boysko, he gets a touch on it, hits it high. Now it's Cash's turn to shoot. That's slipping into the corner. Defender, what are you doing? Why are you not getting a touch on that? I need to see who was in net there, because what just happened?
Tylato just chased him down. They just stopped all ability for Rob Kiernan there to jump, to make any sort of play. And this is what he did last series, and he's doing it again. The sheer relentlessness from his offensive plays, the bumps, the demos, and just the mental aspect of it as well. He doesn't even need to make contact every time. He made no contact there, and it's been pinched into his own goal, and he's then re-put it in, and that is the epitome of a lack of patience and just a lack of mental stability altogether. Rob there has the opportunity to save it. He doesn't need to go down for it a second time. His teammate has every chance to clear it. You can't be doing that. You need to play calmer.
Rob, what was that? You cannot be so impatient. He gets the pass to Mug, trying to return the favour. They are able to do so, kind of taking away the result of that goal. But that's not good enough. You can't be making those mistakes. It's 3-1 now to Reality, but not even a minute's off the clock yet. They've been scoring so fast.
Yeah, he's just struggling a little bit in this game. It doesn't look like he's comfortable. A great pass coming through there, but it doesn't detract from the defensive mistakes being made. They need to stop. He just needs to take a little bit of time, maybe just question where he's positioning himself, because these types of things are happening too often against the teams that play Reality. It almost looks like they're nervous playing them.
But well, time to take, and he's just going to take that well. Growley comes in though, gets a touch. Boysko not the best of one. Muggs comes in with a shot. Tylato there to save it. And Cash just taking it over his net. Just flying around right now, just trying to find a clear. They couldn't find anything too well. Boysko luckily able to come in and clear that away. Now it's Rob, left by himself. Tylato now with a shot, drops down once more. Mug clears it away up to Cash. Cash gonna try and follow. He gets a touch on it, gets it over Growley. That's a 4 for the Reality. They're running away with this one at the moment.
Oh, that was just an unbelievable shot. The air control, the car control that this man has is unbelievable. Whether it's aerial car control or ground car control, he's just an incredible player. But that was absolutely perfect. This opposition knows what they're coming up against, and still you just can't stop Cashmeister at the moment. He is running rings around the defense of every single team he plays against.
Can't get the second touch. It goes up to Boysko, drops it down to Tylacto. It's a shot to the backboard. Kakko try and finish once more. He gets the hat trick. That's 5-1 to Aeriality.
Yeah, Aeriality are just completely shutting out this game. It is unreal. Tylacto, the lack of greed from this man. He deserves a medal. Where everybody else sees a shot, he sees the pass. He is 1 step ahead, 2 steps ahead, hell, 5 steps ahead at this point of every person on this pitch, with the exception of Cashmeister, who is just there and knows exactly what he's doing when he's doing it and is there to follow.
Really a good save there, but I feel like it's too little too late. They still have the game left, but it's a 4-goal difference, 5-1 to Aeriality. That's almost 6 for Tylacto goes in for a shot. It is saving out his boys' school. A shot of his own. 6-1 now for Aeriality. I think we can safely say by about the 4th goal, this is their game, and it's just a matter of when does the clock run out.
Yeah, I think Aeriality at this point in time, they're just going to keep this up. They don't want this to stop. If they can get this to double digits, they know they're going to have put such a mental pressure on Storybud, because you can come back from 6-1. We've seen teams do it. In fact, we've seen teams do it already in this tournament. But coming back from a double-digit deficit, I don't think any team has the capability of doing that. Not really, because once you concede 10 goals, no, that's it. And with 2 minutes left, that's more than achievable.
The ball upfield. A demo from Cash, though. Did not give him any chance to get away. Rob can't do anything with it, and Growly just shut down once more. 2 minutes left. A 5-goal difference. Tylacto. He's going to have to back off, find a save. He can't get it. I mean, sorry, he can. I thought that was Tylacto watching. I can't read. He's able to find the save. 1 minute 30 left, though. It's just a matter of Aeriality playing until the clock runs out. And just waiting, really. Just getting ready for the next game. Look for that sweep. Look to not drop a single game this whole tournament and win it all.
And looking for the musty, followed by the dunk. And this is going to be a double touch. It doesn't matter what they do. Everything just works. Cash almost getting the musty into the read off of the defense. And then instead, Boy School says, well, let's just keep it simple. I'll just do a double touch. Why not? And this is turning into an absolute goal fest for Aeriality. They are having no problems whatsoever. I can't even remember the last time they needed to defend at this point.
7-1. The Brazil has been found, but they've stolen it away. They find an 8th goal. They don't care about the Brazil. They want as many goals as possible. Tylacto, he gets his 2nd of the game, and that's low numbers compared to the rest of the team. We've all got 3, but it doesn't matter. They're 8-1 up. Who cares? Score an own goal or 2. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, and I think it's worth noting, Aeriality, every single player on their team has 4 shots. 2 assists from both Cashmeister and Boy School, 3 assists from Tylacto. All bar 1 goal assisted so far this game. That being said, the bigger statistic to note here, Storybud have had 2 shots this entire match so far. They have put up nothing in terms of aggression, nothing in terms of attacking ability. And at the moment, it looks like there's just one team playing.
Team playing at the moment indeed is 8-1 for Aeriality. Could be 8-2, it could be 8-3. Either way, it doesn't matter. They've destroyed this game. Game number 2, they'll be 2 up in the series. Going strong into game number 3. All the Cash fans in chat will be very, very happy with this result. Aeriality 2-0 up in the series. Game number 3. If they somehow don't win this, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, if they don't win this from here, this would be, no offense to Aeriality, this would be the biggest throw, the biggest just upset that anybody has seen. 8-1. If you lose from here, you should have saved the goals for the next game. Because 8-1 just puts such a damage on your opponent. And to be honest, the own goal coming through as well, that also just takes it. That's just the cream of the crop right there. That Rob is not going to feel happy about that at all. We can see that he's going for a car change. We don't know what he's changing to, but at this point, just change to anything. Anything that is going to give you that little bit of a mental edge, because Rob, you're so pivotal to this team. You have to be performing here. You cannot be performing in the way we've just seen you do it. It's not to discredit how you've played this entire series. You've been great. But right now, you cannot be allowing Aeriality to play the way they're playing.
Yeah, I can get close to playing the way they were playing. All of them. You just don't lose 8-1 and come back in a normal situation. The first game was so close. The second game, no. That went out the window. And Aeriality just won. They didn't win. They destroyed. There was no competition in that second game. And if they can do that again, this is going to be a walk in the park for them.
Yeah, it really is. And they will no doubt look to take an early lead. They do not want to risk going down at all in this game.
To Cash. Tries to follow up out to the side by Rob, though, coming in. Boys go a good 50. And Growly. Above net. Mug comes in. Couldn't find anything with it. TaLaTo has control of the ball, trying to get it past Rob. It comes in, though. A good 50 once again. Growly with a shot. It goes wide. Drops down in front of net. Boys go able to clear it away. Rob. The last man back. Booming that upfield. Can't find anyone knowing Cash. He's going to take that as his own. Try and find it away. No. Huge lumps of pressure coming out at the moment, but Growly off the backboard, he can't finish that. Rob's there to finish though, and Storybud, they get the lead in game number 3.
Yeah, Storybud not only get the lead, but this is arguably the player that needed to get the lead for them. Rob's mentality last game, you could see it crumbling before our very eyes. He needed that first goal. He needed to be the person that holds up that little bit of a weight, and he already looks a bit more confident being in that Fennec.
Takes it upfield once more. Boys go catches it, tries to dribble it away. That's a shot. Just going wide though. No one in the defense. Aeriality. They're getting a bit big for their boots right here, pushing off a bit much. Mug going to drop it down. A possible shot for Rob. Not able to be found. TaLaTo going to clear it up to Boys School. That's a shot. It slips in at the bottom left hand side. And we're all tied up once again.
Yeah, and this is just a poor decision again to go for that boost pad. It messed them up in previous matches, and it's done it again. You have enough small pads to warrant rotating back through them. You cannot risk giving Aeriality a single inch of that goal to shoot at that they know you can't reach. Giving them the entire goal to aim at is a no-go.
So he's just waiting, trying to find a pass out mid. He drops it down to Cash. He gets a touch, leaves it for Boys School. Mug can't find the clear. No one can find a touch on it. There's plenty of time now. The defense had a huge mishap. Boys School's up, off the shot. Can he find it? No, he can't. That could be an own goal. It's off the post. What have they done? Storybud are just trying to get Aeriality to win at this stage. What was that?
I can't even speak here. So Growly with a great squishy save, and then we see the pinch come through to cause the own goal between Mug and Growly, and this is just not the way you want to see Aeriality winning this game at the moment. If anything, there deserves to be a better set of goals, but again, for the second time, the mentality is breaking down. These guys look like they're struggling in every aspect of this game right now.
Can't say anything more about this game right now. What was that, Storybud? Are they trying to win this game? Or are they trying to give Aeriality the easiest run of their life? What were they doing there? They've all went for the ball. They've made a mistake. Okay, fix it. No, they're both going to go for the ball again. They're both going to hit it into their own net. That should not be happening. That is abysmal.
Yeah, that really shouldn't be happening. We've seen both of these teams play throughout the entire tournament. We know what Storybud are capable of. they are capable of taking a game off of this Aeriality team. They have absolutely no reason to be letting in a goal like that, but Tylacto with shots like that, it's no surprise. Growly needs to be getting that one on target, though. He definitely needs to be getting a good pass, but a bad pass comes through to Tylacto for him, and this is going to roll center, and Cashmeister has the opportunity for a ceiling double touch, but cannot find the target. And this, honestly, it just feels as if Storybud need to just take this second half of the game as if it's just 0-0 and just try and score and hope and pray at this point in time.
That could be a goal right there. Rob comes in. Growly, a very fortunate touch to say the least. Gets it past the last defender, Rob. He's able to finish it off. Boysko couldn't find that. That's 2-2 now. How Reality are letting this slip away, I don't know. Storybud, though, they should not be in the position to have to make a comeback. It should not have been 2-1 in the first place. I cannot get over that. They've tied it up now. They're making up for their mistakes, but still, they have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, they do obviously have a lot of work to do. Even if they win this game, they've still got to win 2 more back-to-back, and that against Aeriality is just not an easy feat. But it's almost an underdog story now, and we'd love to see it. The defense and the offense is suddenly started pulling through for this Storybud team. They're willing to take a few more risks, but leaving a solo man on defense is not the way to do it. But a great decision to take it slow by Mug and take it out into his own corner as Cash passes it down to Boysko. And this is just the way the game is going at the moment. These two teams are trading plays. They're trying to do the same things, and it's just getting difficult.
Difficult, and it's 2 apiece. 50 seconds left. Could be seeing overtime. Or will someone just slip by and find that last goal? Boysko, after 50 in the midfield, gets it past Growly, but Rob comes in, heads up back upfield. Cash in the corner, gets a touch, cleared away once more, going straight to Mug, though he's going to launch that straight back upfield to Boysko on the back wall. And it's just back and forth in the moment. 30 seconds left, it's up high, Tylacto clearing it away. They want this sweep, they have not dropped a game, and I keep saying this whole tournament. And I think dropping it now, after the performance this game we've seen from Storybud, and this game especially, would be the sad way to go and lose that streak. But Tylacto, he hits it high. Rob comes in, tries to get a goal. It's saved by Cash easily enough. Then Mug's up for it. Can he finish it off? No, he can't. Saved by Tylacto. We're on 0 seconds. The ball just needs to touch the ground and we'll go to overtime. But it's still up by Mug. It finally drops. Overtime's underway. Aeriality. Match point. 1 more goal needed. And they'll take the series, and that could be it right here. Growly makes it back in time. Out to the time for Boysko. It's up high once more. That's a shot from Cash. A second one, and a third touch as well. Nothing can be found from it, but it's also close for Reality to start it off.
Yeah, and that's almost where a mild bit of greediness has come in from Cash for one of the first times that we've seen so far. Had the opportunity to get a great pass down, instead tries to get the double and triple touches, and he can't get anything from it. Now Aeriality need to continue this play and continue the pressure. He's no! Cashmeister closes out the series, closes out the tournament with an amazing double touch. We said it was greedy, but hell, that was a phenomenal placement and a great shot to end it out.
Aeriality, Boysko Q, Cash and Tylacto. Not only did they win the game 3-2, not only did they win the series, not only did they win the whole tournament, they didn't drop a game the whole way through. And Storybud, I'm sorry to be harping on at them, they deserved that loss that game. That was disappointing. Aeriality, they are your champions of the first Rocket Kingdom One-Shot Cup. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, congratulations indeed. They played their hearts out. You have to give credit to a team that can win tournaments like this. You definitely have to give credit to a team that can win tournaments while sweeping every opponent they come across. That is just something unheard of. Nobody does that. That's not something you're meant to do. The whole reason you get to the finals is because you're meant to be facing people in the same sort of level you're playing at, and these guys just swept everything.
Aeriality, they take the top prize. It's a £100 prize pool. Aeriality take that £70, and Story Bro. They take the remaining 30 that we split amongst the teams, and in reality, it's
just unbelievable. Everything about the way they played was just clinical. The way they managed to win 8-1. But I think the most impressive thing about that is going 1-0 down from a player who previously looked like he was struggling, and then to pull that back, to pull that back and win in such a beautiful fashion. It wasn't a simple pass play. It wasn't as if there was nobody in defense. It wasn't a defensive mishap. It was an absolutely incredible double touch from who was arguably the greatest goal scorer in the entire tournament. Completely deserved.
Oh, deserved indeed. But that is all for tonight. Congratulations to everyone involved. In reality, especially, they take home the top prize at £70. The 30 going to Storybud. That is all for tonight. I hope you all enjoyed the first of the one-shot cups, and that was a good night. Have a good night, everyone.